should know. I have never really liked you at all. I cannot hide it anymore. I've been thinking about the future, trying to forget about the past. So many ways that I could change for the better. Don't even know where to begin. If I allow myself to dream, will it be as good as it seems? Pull me out of this place in the middle, in the middle. Nothing more to embrace in the middle, in the middle. If I try to climb up the wall, everyone can see when I fall. Take me up into the mountains, send me off into the wild. Misery is still a path I would choose if the alternatives are worse. I guess it's time to find a friend, one who will stick by to the end. Going out of my mind in the middle, in the middle. Wasting all of my time in the middle, in the middle. I take a bite and spit it out, unaware of what it's about. I'm not that good at faking it. I feel somehow I've broken it. I don't believe I'm part of it. In the if I try to climb up the wall, everyone can see when I fall. Nothing really matters at all. Pull me out of this place in the middle, in the middle. Nothing more to embrace in the middle, in the middle.
This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free.
Hi, everyone. I'm so glad that y'all are here with me this Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. It's so good to see you. Mandy, did you have a nice birthday? Hey, Abellis, Curious Christine, Paramandy, Bad Girl, Jenny Jen, Kane's Nana, Carolina, Cara, Fawny Donnie, LJ, Chloe Moon, Miss Scorpio Rising. It's good to see all of you. I'm so glad y'all are here. Hey, Roxanne. Oh, I know. The children missing. There's a lot from Virginia. Hey, Lydia. It's sad. Hey, Chow. Good to see you. Hannah. UK. Good to see you. Please hit the like button. Hi, Amy. Good to see you. Southern Cats. Good to see you. I'm so glad y'all are here. Cindy from sunny South Florida. Andy. It's good to see y'all. Rubber Ramada, good to see you. Indian Taco. Indian Taco said, I'm from Portland, and I remember when this happened. Can't believe he hasn't been found and no charges. I know. I was looking into this case this morning. Hey, Miss Sarah and AM. And Edith, good to see you. I was looking into the case this morning, and it appears that they are going to, sorry, she's cutting the grass. Seems like she cuts the grass right when I go live. I don't know what's up with that, but anyways. I was looking into it, and I'm thinking they're going to reopen the case. I'm not sure. Hold on just a minute. Let me access the live. Miss Scorpio Rising just gifted a membership. Thank you so much for that. Hey, Shraddha. That was so very sweet of you, Miss Scorpio Rising. That went to Trisha Muir. If you are Trisha, if you are here and you are aware that Miss Scorpio just gifted you a membership, please tell Miss Scorpio thank you, and I will grab the crazy train and pick you up on the way to Speculation Station. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Yay! Thank you so much. Hey, Midian. Good to see you. Hey, Vero. Veronica, good to see you. Okay. So, I have videos, and I have this timeline of events. So, we can go with this article first because it's going to give us a timeline. Oh, my goodness. Cara just gifted 10 memberships, and those went to Trees, Pandora Wake, Ellie G, Jacinda McClellan, Carrie Hall, Little Chickadee, Harley Bulow, and Kathy Clay, Lisa Opinion, and Silliest Girl in the Torture Dungeon. Thank you for that. And then Chow Young gifted a membership, and those went to Chrissy. If you were gifted from Cara or Chow Young, please tell them thank you if you are aware you were gifted. And I will grab both trains to pick y'all up on the way to Speculation Station. This is the paranormal Polar Express for Cara. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships. That was so very sweet and supportive of you, and I really appreciate that. So I will grab this train to pick up those people. And then I will grab the crazy train for Chow. Thank you, Chow, so much. That was so sweet and supportive of you, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Y'all are so very sweet. I really appreciate it. Yeah, paranormal. Yeah, hold your coffee. You got to tuck and roll off that crazy train. Tuck and roll, tuck and roll. Okay, so I was talking, who sent this to me? I think it was Glitter is Forever told me about this website. I'm sure that y'all have told me about this website before. I didn't know, I remember hearing about this case, but I wasn't sure of the timeline. And she happened to tell me about this website this morning. And so I decided to check it out, and I did find Kyron on this website. It's called crimetimelines.com. She said she heard it from Gavin Fish, and I will drop Gavin's link. Gavin is a friend of the channel. The last I checked anyway. I think he still is. Let me grab his link and drop it real quick. So I think she heard it from him, and then she told me, and I'm sure y'all have told me, hey Anders and Tony in Amy, Pennsylvania. That's Gavin's link. If you guys haven't checked Gavin out, Gavin Fish is really awesome. So she told me about this website, and I figured I'd look up Kyron, and we've got a whole entire timeline of events to talk about. So we can start with this, and then we'll watch some videos on the case that I found. Let me clear my throat. And get a sip of coffee. Okay. I'm going to also drop the link if anybody wants to come up. Some of y'all might know the case better than me. I do remember it, though, and I remember being suspicious of his stepmother at the time. So this is the last picture that I know of Kyron. And this was at the science fair that his stepmother said that she dropped him off at. But, I mean, even in this picture, I'm noticing there's no other children, it appears. It appears this is like early, maybe before the science fair. There appears to be one child in the back here, and maybe there's somebody standing up, so maybe another parent walking through. It looks like it's before the science fair even began. But that's just what I'm guessing from the picture I see. Yeah, he did a science fair project on the red-eyed tree frog, and I love tree frogs. Tree frogs used to be my favorite. I liked dolphins for a while and then frogs. I still really like frogs. Anyway, let's go over. We'll go ahead and start with the timeline of disappearance. I will be clicking back and checking comments, and he does, doesn't he? Curious. Hey, Kathleen, I'm sorry. I will be checking back. I pinned the StreamYard link if you want to come up and talk about the case. I will try to catch you. So hopefully you won't have to sit back there too long. All right. So this is the timeline of the disappearance of Kyron Horman. And it started June 4th, 2010. Kyron, a second grader at Skyline Elementary School in Portland, Oregon, was last seen near his classroom after attending a science fair. His stepmother, Terry Horman, left the school at 8:45 a.m. and ran errands until 10:10 a.m. She then drove her daughter around town and went to the gym and arrived home at 1:21 p.m. when she and her husband went to the bus stop to meet Kyron at 3:30. The bus driver told him he hadn't boarded the bus, and Kyron was reported missing to 911. A $50,000 reward is available for information leading to the resolution of Kyron's disappearance. The sheriff's office encouraged people to share information about Kyron's disappearance by calling the MCSO tip line at 503-988-0560 or NCMEC, or National Center for Missing and Exploited Children tip line at 1-800-THE-LOST. So these are age progression photos of what they think Kyron could look like today. Yeah, me too. Me too. Carolina said, what I do know is that she reminds me of Letitia Stout, stepmom, jealous of father-son relationship. He was also a mama's boy. Sounds too familiar. Her best friend knows exactly what happened to Kyron. That's interesting. See, I don't know a lot. I remember when it first hit, though, I was suspicious of the stepmom as well. Hey, Miss King of Anything, good to see you. All right, so the timeline of disappearance. Kyron Horman, Friday, June 4th, 2010. 8 a.m. Skyline Elementary School opens for the science fair. Terry and Kyron Horman arrive shortly after. 8:15 a.m. Skyline Parent Teacher Association President Gina Zimmerman sees Kyron with his stepmother Terry in front of his exhibit. 8:45 a.m. Terry Horman leaves the school after watching Kyron walk toward his classroom. 9 a.m. Another student reports seeing Kyron near the south entrance of the school. 10 a.m. Class begins. Kyron's homeroom teacher, Christina Porter, reports him as absent. So if Terry left at 8:45 and then 9 a.m. another student reported seeing him near the south entrance, an hour later class began and he was absent. So that tells me that either the stepmom did drop him off and somehow he left the south entrance. Hey, Birdie. Thank you for being here. Um, okay, what that tells me is that either Terry took him to the science fair and watched him walk towards class and then maybe was standing outside the entrance possibly and got him to come out and then took him somewhere and did something. That other student could have been mistaken and thought he saw Kyron that day or she saw Kyron that day and maybe had gotten confused because the only other person who reported seeing him after the science fair was another student. So maybe that student was mistaken. Maybe Terry took him home directly or took him somewhere directly after the exhibit. Or maybe she did watch him walk to class and that student saw and she or somebody else was standing outside the south entrance of the school and he walked out that door. Aw. Well, thank you for being here, Birdie. Kathleen said, okay, I remember now. This is so sad. Yeah. It's so weird. A lot of children seem to disappear into thin air. Carrie said, what the heck is with these stepmoms? I'm one, for goodness sake. What's wrong with these insecure women? Horrible. I don't know. I don't know. I am a stepmother as well, and Lord have mercy, I don't get it. You should want the other parent to have great, like, you should want the biological parent of the children you are a step parent to have a good relationship with those child and your children too if you have children. Like, I don't understand why people, if they've got an issue in the relationship or with the situation, why they just don't leave. Like, excuse me, why not leave? Because of money? Money is a material thing. You could make money. Again, you could find a way to make money and make it on your own. Like, I don't get it. Not that I know of Amy. I don't think that she's been charged with anything yet. All right, continuing on the timeline. 1:21 p.m. Terry posts a picture of Kyron and his project on her Facebook page. 3:30 p.m. Terry and Kyron's father, Kane Horman, go to the school bus and discover Kyron has been absent all day. 3:56. School secretary Susan Hall calls 911 to report Kyron missing. Why did the school secretary call to report him missing? 3:59. The Portland Police Bureau and Multnomah County Sheriff's Office are dispatched. 4:33. Portland Police Bureau officers and Multnomah County Sheriff's Office deputies arrive at Skyline Elementary School and Kyron's home. MCSO and Portland Police Bureau begin checking the home, school, and surrounding area for Kyron. 5:30 p.m. A broadcast is sent to parents in Portland public schools, quote, Kyron Horman did not arrive at home today, unquote. 7 o'clock. The MCSO search and rescue are activated to assist in the search. Detective Sergeant Lee Gosson alerts Sergeant Travis Goldberg to begin a formal missing person search for Kyron. 7:15, the public information officer begins returning calls from media and arranges to meet them at the school. 8:09 p.m. The first search teams arrive at Skyline School. 8:15, Lieutenant Lindstrom arrives and begins emailing Kyron's photo to local media. 8:15 p.m., the MCSO public information officer meets with media at the school. At 8:30 p.m., Sheriff Dan Staten notifies the FBI. 8:25 p.m., Deputy Mark Kyron, the search and rescue coordinator, arrives. 9:49 p.m., Mountain Wave Search and Rescue Group arrives at the school. 10:40, officers complete a search of Skyline School and the Horman residence. 10:44, a tipster calls 911 suggesting officers check a nearby train tunnel where kids sometimes play. And now we're on the day of the disappearance. Are you picking on me because I probably slaughtered that? You might be trying to be really nice, but you're probably if you're picking on me, I'm sorry for saying it the wrong way. Oh, okay, back to this. On the day of his disappearance, Kyron was wearing a black t-shirt with quote CSI unquote in green letters and a handprint graphic. He was also wearing black cargo pants, white socks, and black Skechers sneakers with orange trim. Kyron may have had his glasses on at the time. Now we're at the next morning, Saturday, June 5th, 2010. 5 a.m. Pacific Northwest Search and Rescue is called. Upon arrival. 60 to 70 people are already involved. 9:08, Associated Press receives its first official notification that Kyron is missing. 12 p.m., a sheriff's spokesman states the search is still a missing person case, not a criminal investigation. Around this time, Portland Public Schools alert staff and parents who were at the school to attend debriefings on Sunday. 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock p.m. news conferences are held. The FBI and National Guard have joined the effort. Search crews complete an immediate grid search around the school. Okay. Hey, Janie. This year, a stepmother thanked me because she said they aren't recognized on Mother's Day. That made me really sad. Aw, I'm so sorry. I'm glad that you did that, though. A lot of times, stepmothers aren't recognized. Cara said, I got 10 blood nieces and nephews and 6 nieces and nephews from best friends. They're my kids, too. Right. That's the way it should be. Oh, I'm sorry, Janie. I'm glad you made it, though. Okay. So now we are on Sunday, June 6th, 8:58 a.m. Terry posts on Facebook about ordering 1,000 missing person flyers. The FBI announces that they have brought in a profiler from Quantico, Virginia. 9:48 a.m. Students and parents return to Skyline School for interviews with detectives. 12:10 p.m. Kyron's relatives distribute missing person flyers with his description. 3:30 p.m. Portland Public Schools Superintendent Miss Smith outlines steps to address security concerns. 9 p.m. The sheriff escalates Kyron's case to a missing and endangered child, but does not label it a kidnapping. Monday, June 7, 2010, early morning, 18 certified search and rescue volunteers resume sweeping the area. Deputies canvass the neighborhood, noting license plates along the Northwest Skyline Boulevard. 8:45 a.m. classes resume at Skyline with counselors available. That evening, Kelly Ramirez, Desiree Young's sister, thanks the community for their support. Tuesday, June 8, 2010. Search and rescue crews continue their efforts. A reward fund is created and announced on Facebook. Wednesday, June 9, 2010, at 11 a.m., FBI spokeswoman states the family isn't speaking with the media. 12 p.m., Sheriff Captain Mike Schultz reads a statement from Kyron's family thanking the public and urging them to search their properties. At 9:45 p.m., Portland Mountain Rescue is called to join the search. Terry makes her Facebook wall private. Thursday, June 10th, 2010, search and rescue crews continue their search. Friday, June 11th, 2010, a week since he disappeared. At 10 a.m., the search expands to Swabi Island. At 1 p.m., Kyron's family holds their first news conference expressing gratitude and urging Kyron to come home. Okay. All right. So Saturday, June 12th, 2010, search efforts continue. The sheriff's office requests the public to hold off on donation due to surplus. Sunday, June 13th, 2010 at 12 p.m., the massive search ends. The case shifts to a criminal investigation. Over 1,300 people participated, making it one of the largest searches in state history. The sheriff's office seeks video footage of traffic near the school. 100 t-shirts with Kyron's missing poster are distributed for free. Monday, June 14, 2010, divers search areas around Saube Island, wading in waist-high water off of the Multnomah Channel. Tuesday, June 15, 2010, early morning, a photograph of glasses like Kyron's is released. Around noon, dive teams search a pond near the Horman home. 3:36 p.m., a new photo of Kyron without glasses is released, and 30 billboards with Kyron's picture go up around the metro area, donated by Clear Channel. Thursday, June 17, 2010, social media rumors falsely claim Kyron's body has been found. See, they were doing this crap back in 2010. You got to be careful with social media. Hey, Morbid Injustice. I don't think I'm in your group. I would love to check it out. Terry is in your group? Okay. Oh, yeah, Glitter is the one who um, gave me this link to this website that is called Crime Timelines, and it's got a really good breakdown of the case. I'll definitely have to check you out. Thank you for the information, Morbid Injustice. Where are you? Is your group on like Facebook or YouTube or? So usually if a kid does not show up in school, the teacher would contact the parents, but they'll like even when my kids were in public school, it would be like 4 p.m. before we would get a notification that our child was absent from school. I think they're trying to do better about that. Like, I don't understand why we can't take attendance in homeroom, send the list of who's absent to the office, and then have them start calling parents. But a lot of times you don't find out until late at night or in the late afternoon. Okay, I'm going to go back and continue reading. So Friday, June 18th, 2010, this is 2 weeks since he is reported missing. Friday, June 18th, the sheriff's office releases a flyer seeking information including photos of Kyron, Terry, and a similar pickup truck. He asked for the public's help in providing specific details about sightings of a white truck at the Fred Meyer's locations. At these Fred Meyer locations. It gives an address of one in Hillsborough around 9 a.m. on June 4th and one in Beaverton around 10 a.m. on June 4th. At 2 p.m., Captain Jason Gates confirms the family approved the flyer and dispels rumors. At 8:30 p.m., a friend reports Terry will undergo a second polygraph. Sunday, June 20th, 2010, authorities collect flyers from parents at Skyline. Monday, June 21st, 2010, Kyron's mother, Desiree Young, writes an open letter to her son. Tuesday, June 22nd, 2010, a quote, wall of hope, unquote, is created outside Skyline Elementary as a tribute. Thursday, June 24th, 2010, Kyron's family released home movies and 200 new photos. Friday, June 25th, 2010, I do believe this would be 4 weeks since he's been missing. Desiree Young and Katie Horman appear on network morning shows to share Kyron's story. I do want to say that she wasn't okay. Moving from Discord to Go. She's okay. I'm confused. Yeah, I don't. I'm reading all of the things. Okay, so morbid. I don't know if you have. So here we speculate. So I don't want you to like I don't say anything is definitively true unless I can 100% prove it. And I would love to check out your page and see what we can 100% prove. I was saying that out loud because I don't want you to get offended with somebody's speculations. I do ask that everybody say, in my opinion, or that, in my speculation or whatever. We basically run theories like, okay, if this is the case, if it is the case that Kyron went to school that morning, who could have possibly gotten him? And if it is the case that he didn't go to school or his stepmother took him home after the science fair and did something, how would that scenario run out? And is it possible that the biological mother came and picked him up? How would that scenario run out? So we just run scenarios basically, but it's all speculation. Nobody, unfortunately, knows what happened in this moment that I know of. We have divorce documents showing why they divorced, which no one else has. They are also on our YouTube channel. I have to go, but 10 to Life also did amazing video from the info we have. Okay, I'll definitely check you out. Let me write you down because if we have time, I'll go over there today and see what you got. Since you have a YouTube channel, that would be easier for me to access. And thank you for coming by. Alrighty. Perfect. I probably will check that out because I try not to use people's stuff unless I have permission. So what I have is like a lot of news clips and some stuff I might get in trouble for playing. So yeah, I might definitely check you out and drop your links. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've heard it. I mean, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I remember thinking the stepmom was sus when I first heard this case, but it's been so long, and I don't know, man. Um, I would love, like, I'm trying to kind of go over it again because I know more information has come out. So we're gonna see what we can figure out. Anders and everybody else. Yeah, I hadn't either, and I'm really grateful to Glitter is Forever for showing me this website. They've got like a lot of cases. They had Madeline Soto. They've got like, I mean, you just type in the name. It's called CrimeTimelines.com. I was like so grateful this morning that she showed me this because I was like, I don't have much on Kyron, and this is amazing. Okay, so we're on Saturday, June 26, 2010, two 911 calls are made from the Horman residence regarding a, quote, threat, unquote, and a, quote, custody, unquote, issue. Kane moves out, taking their 19-month-old daughter, Kiara. Monday, June 28, 2010. People magazine features Kyron's story. Terry's father expresses uncertainty about her potential arrest. 5:52 p.m., Kane, Desiree, and Tony Young release a statement excluding Terry's name. Media reports Terry has been served with a restraining order and divorce papers. Hold on, I gotta get a sip of my coffee. Hey, Heel Sandra. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Sidetracked. Monkey brain. Tuesday, June 29th. A judge seals the restraining order against Terry Horman. Wednesday, June 30th, 2010. Terry returns home with attorney Stephen Howes amidst media attention. Thursday, July 2nd, 2010. The investigation has cost the county approximately $300,000. Sheriff Staten discusses resource concerns. Sunday, July 4, 2010, reports surfaced that Terry allegedly offered a landscaper money to kill Kane Horman months prior. Now, I will say that just by looking at stuff that I found today, that right there, reports surfaced that Terry allegedly offered a landscaper money to kill Kane Horman months prior. I found evidence that shows that it wasn't Kane, it was an ex-boyfriend in 1990. Now, I don't know how young this woman was in 1990, but we're talking about 20 freaking years earlier, and it's an ex-boyfriend. Everybody does stupid shit when they're young. God knows I did. Um, so, I don't know. It concerns me that she would like actually talk to somebody and try to have even an ex-boyfriend killed by a hitman. But I mean, young, dumb, and you know what? So I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. I have found proof that I'm pretty confident in that it was from like the 90s. Um, and it was not Kane. It was not the father of this boy. Curious Christine has been a member for 2 months. Thank you so much for sharing your milestone. That was so awesome. She says, I'm going to be here for the long haul. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. I appreciate all of y'all being here. Yeah, talking out the side of her neck. Right. Birdie said, I believe she did it to the boyfriend and then to the gardener as well. That's the story at least. Okay, so I'm going to have to definitely look into it more. Tried twice with Kane and the ex-boyfriend? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I know one was from 1990. Okay. Thursday, July 8, 2010. Kane asked a judge to order Terry to move out of their house. The petition supporting the restraining order is released. Monday, July 12th, 2010. Terry agrees not to contest the restraining order or being forced out. Kane accuses Terry of violating the restraining order and other misconduct. Friday, July 16, 2010, Terry vacates the house per an out-of-court settlement and moves to Roseburg. So Saturday, July 17, 2010, Kane and Kiara return home. Sunday, July 18, 2010, an article explores why Kyron's case has gained significant attention. Wednesday, July 21st, 2010, law enforcement focuses on Dee Dee Spicer, searching her home and interviewing associates. Thursday, July 22nd, 2010, county commissioners approve additional funding for the investigation. Friday, July 23rd, 2010, reports indicate Dee Dee Spicer left her work site abruptly on June 4th and was unreachable. Monday, July 26, 2010. Kane files a motion for Terry to disclose the source of $350,000 paid to her attorney. Dee Dee Spicer testifies before a grand jury. Dateline NBC airs a program on Kyron's disappearance. Tuesday, July 27, 2010, the reward for information increases to $50,000. Wednesday, July 28, 2010, Terry's lawyer files a motion to delay divorce proceedings due to media scrutiny. Week of August 2nd through 6th, 2010. Witnesses, including Kyron's parents and Terry's friends, testify before a grand jury. Week of August 7th through the 8th, 2010. Searchers focused on the old Germantown Road loop near where Dee Dee Spicer was working. Monday, August 9th, 2010. Investigators continue searching along Northwest Old Germantown Road. 6 months already? Really? Oh my gosh, it has been. Dang. Thank you, Cara, for sharing your 6-month milestone. Those are beautiful.
Can I put them on your shelf?
No, because there's a computer there, but set it on the table. Thank you. That was so sweet. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Car, thank you so much for sharing your 6 month milestone with us. That was so sweet of you. She said, damn, 6 months already. I know. Time flies when you're having fun. Which cases aren't fun, but I enjoy talking about them with you guys. Though I did have much help along the way. Thanks so much. If I can do it, anyone can. Yes, absolutely. It does sound like they suspected something, and I'm wondering if they're going back through the case again because there has been new talk of the Kyron Horman case. So I'm wondering if they're going through again and checking all of the leads again to see if they can figure out what happened. So, all right. We'll continue. Tuesday, August 10th, 2010. Media obtained personal emails from Terry detailing the day Kyron disappeared. Wednesday, August 11th, 2010. Investigators seek details about sightings of the Horman truck, releasing staged photos. Releasing staged photos. So, is that, I'm sure that's pretty much been debunked. But that's crazy. I mean, it just shows that it's been happening for a long time. Yeah, they can. Dee Dee was a very close friend of Terry. She passed the polygraph and agreed to immunity to talk to prosecutors. Okay. I'm fine, super hot here, but got AC full blast. Just wondering how you're feeling. Oh, that is hot. Bye, Cindy. Have a good day, love. Tuesday, August 17, 2010. Dee Dee Spicer tells People magazine she did not leave her work site on June 4th. Friday, August 20th, 2010. Kane and Desiree discussed changes in Terry's behavior since 2005. Wednesday, August 25th, 2010. Terry appears in court. Her lawyer argues she cannot proceed due to being a suspect. Tuesday, September 7th, 2010, Kane and volunteers re-erect the Wall of Hope at a new location. Wednesday, September 8th, 2010, Kane drops his motion to find Terry in contempt. Thursday, September 9th, 2010, Kyron's parents celebrate his 8th birthday with cake and cards. Wednesday, September 15, 2010, the sheriff's office announces scaling down the investigation due to cost over $1 million. Tuesday, September 21st, 2010, Clear Channel begins removing Kyron Horman billboards. Weekend of October 2nd and 3rd, 2010, search teams return to Suave Island. Hey, Red Bull Coffee and Crime. I heard about your name the other day and I was like, all I drink is Red Bull and coffee. Somebody mentioned you the other day. Thank you for being here. Red Bull Coffee and Crime 2 said, I know the entire family, including Terry, approved those staged photos. Really? So it said staged photos of like the Horman family truck. Investigators seek details about sightings of the Horman truck releasing staged photos. Okay, maybe I misread it or misunderstood the way it was being read because I thought it was saying they staged photos. Somebody staged photos of their vehicle. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you for being here. It's freezing. I wish I was freezing right now. All right. Weekend. No. Okay. Thursday, October 7th, 2010, a court hearing delays the divorce proceedings until January 2011. Interesting. Weekend of October 9th and 10th, 2010, 180 searchers returned to Suave Island. Wednesday, October 13th, 2010, Terry petitions for visiting. Oh my goodness. Terry petitions for visitation rights with Kiara. Thursday, October 14, 2010, additional funding is granted for the investigation. Thursday, October 21st, 2010, Kane files an objection to Terry's visitation request seeking a mental health evaluation. Monday, October 25th, 2010, Kane submits an affidavit calling Terry, quote, emotionally disturbed, unquote. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Now, I have some issues with everything going on with the husband of Terry. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand, that people break up and they could have issues and, a divorce proceeding is going to be ugly and then there's a child involved. I mean, all of these things are going to be ugly regardless, right? But the husband is talking about all of these emotionally disturbed and like mental health evaluations, and then take into consideration the damn hit that she tried to do on, I know of one in 1990 at least. Like, it does make me question if there was hostility and she could have hurt this child because she's not emotionally healthy, I guess would be the right term. Southeast Missouri. I don't, but I wish I did. I've heard something about that the biological father was outside the school in a car. Really? Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Tuesday, November 2nd. Oh, Friday, October 29th, 2010, Terry's attorneys respond, accusing Kane of trying to destroy her relationship with Kiara. Tuesday, November 2nd, 2010, Terry withdraws her motion for parenting time with Kiara. I mean, that's sad if that's her child. She should be allowed to be a parent. At least. I mean, damn. Weekend of November 13th and 14th, 2010, dive team search the island again. Monday, November 15th, Desiree accuses Terry of hating Kyron on, quote, Today Show and criticizes Kane. Kane responds, denying knowledge of any threats. Friday, December 10th, 2010, Skyline School Principal emails a flyer to parents at the sheriff's request. Sunday, January 30th, 2011, authorities search forested hills west of Suave Island but find nothing. February 2011, the FBI dedicates up to 6 agents to assist with the investigation. Saturday, February 13, 2011, Desiree releases a Valentine to Kyron expressing her longing. Wednesday, weekend of March 26th and 27, 2011, searchers return to previously unsearched areas. Wednesday, March 30th, 2011, the Horman divorce hearing is delayed until June 30th. Thursday, June 2nd, Sheriff Staten announces the formal task force will disband on July 1st. Friday, August 26, 2011, Desiree withdraws her civil suit against Terry to avoid impeding the investigation. So what I'm picking up on now it is really hot. Carolina said unstable is true. If I were her father, I wouldn't want her near my child. Al reminds you of Kane, really. So what I'm picking up on now is they went and did media shows trying to get Kyron's information out, which is something you want to do, right? Especially if your child's missing. You want to get that information out into the media as soon as possible. But that is a double-edged sword because when you do that, they're going to pick apart every single detail that you tell them. They're going to say, this looks suspicious, and this looks suspicious, and this looks suspicious, and all of these things, reading way too much into it, as everybody does sometimes, looking for hidden clues and agendas that might not necessarily be there. Excuse me. And I'm wondering if that caused tension in the family by people breaking down every aspect of this case and seeing things that might not have necessarily meant what people think that they mean and caused infighting in the family. You know what I mean? That's what I'm wondering right now as I get to this part of the timeline. The stage photos were of the pickup truck in different locations put out to the public as kind of a have you seen this vehicle? But why are we staging the damn pickup truck in different wow. I don't know. Oh, yeah, thank you. I don't know why we couldn't just, get a picture of the vehicle and say, have you seen this vehicle? Like, why are we staging it in locations and things? Okay, so we're at 2012. to help people remember if they've seen that vehicle or not. I don't know. That's still weird to me, though. I've never heard of it being done in any other case. Maybe they were trying new tactics. I don't know. Okay, 2012, a Multnomah County Circuit Court judge referred to Terry as a quote prime suspect unquote in the case. According to the sheriff's office, DNA from Kyron's family and his own toothbrush have been submitted and are actively searched against the National DNA Database. Dental records and x rays have also been uploaded to the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System for comparison to unidentified remains throughout the United States. Tuesday, September 17, 2013, Desiree and Kane aired their differences on the Dr. Phil show. Tuesday, December 31st, 2013, a judge finalizes Kane and Terry's divorce. Friday, June 1st, 2012, Desiree files a civil lawsuit against Terry for custodial interference. Tuesday, July 30th, 2013, Desiree drops the lawsuit citing Terry's silence. Tuesday, June 3rd, 2014, Kane is awarded custody of Kiara. Terry is allowed supervised visits. Monday, August 4th, 2014, a judge denies Terry's request for a name change due to the ongoing investigation. Tuesday, August 14th, 2014, Terry speaks publicly about Kyron during her name change hearing. Wednesday, November 26, 2014, Terry files another petition to change her name. Wednesday, December 10th, Terry withdraws her name change petition after public opposition. So there she's just trying to keep the public happy because she wanted her name changed like 2 or 3 times, in my opinion. Friday, February 6, 2015, reports indicate Terry took a job as a caregiver under her maiden name. Friday, February 20th, 2015, Terry leaves her job due to public attention. Thursday, May 28, 2015, the Sheriff's Office announces a $50,000 reward as the 5th anniversary approaches. Saturday, May 30th, 2015, Kane expresses a desire for resolution and for people to not forget Kyron. August of 2015, Terry's roommate reports a stolen gun. Terry is implicated. Thursday, September 22nd, 2016, Terry tells Dr. Phil she believes Kyron was kidnapped by a man in a white pickup, which, if we go back to the beginning, that's what was stated, a man in a white pickup. Hey, Indy. Good to see you, love. Okay. Thursday, May 25th, 2017. Oh, that was 2016. Now we're at 2017. An age-progressed photo of Kyron at 14 is released. Saturday, March 17th, 2018, Terry marries Jose de Jesus Vasquez Martinez in Nevada. Tuesday, June 4th, 2019, on the 9th anniversary, Desiree announces the search area has been narrowed to less than 100 acres. Tuesday, May 26th of 2020, Rebecca Morris releases a book titled Boy Missing, The Search for Kyron Horman. Friday, May 29th of 2020, Little Boy Lost, an ID mystery aired on Investigation Discovery. Thursday, June 4th, 2020, on the 10th anniversary, Sheriff Mike Reese affirms dedication to the investigation and encourages the public's assistance. And then the last one is May 9th of 2025. That is now. It says Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, MCSO, and law enforcement partners are reaffirming their commitment to finding Kyron and pursuing justice. Over the past year, investigators have undertaken a significant effort to modernize and review the case through a renewed collaborative approach. The MCSO and Gresham police detectives are working to digitalize and reorganize the entire case. This means scanning the documents, thousands of pages of reports, photos, and evidence. When the case is digitized, the file will be re-examined by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Behavioral Analysis Unit, The BAU is a unit within the National Center for Analysis of Violent Crime that uses behavioral analysis to assist in criminal investigations by analyzing statements, narratives, and evidence, performing psychological and behavioral analysis, and offering investigative recommendations based on patterns from similar historic and current cases nationwide. And the description of Kyron Horman says Kyron has brown hair, blue eyes, and wears glasses. He also has a distinct V-shaped strawberry birthmark on his forehead. On the day of his disappearance, Kyron was wearing a black t-shirt with a CSI in green letters and handprint graphic. He was also wearing black cargo pants, white socks, and black Skechers sneakers with an orange trim. Kyron may have had his glasses on at the time. Ooh. Okay, do y'all want me to read about Terry? That's a key word there. Pursuing justice. The abacus. Come on over, bad girl. All right, I'll keep this up and we'll read that in just a second. I'm going to go to a video for a minute and give my throat a rest. Let me grab my playlist. It goes back to 8 years ago. But what I have is the Dr. Phil show. Okay, we're going to watch her on the Dr. Phil show real quick, and then I'll come back to this. I'm going to have to pause and talk a lot during this because they might like try to block my channel because Dr. Phil don't like to share. Oh, really? Well, yeah, definitely email me. I posted the link if you want to come up and talk. I'll be looking at this page now for a minute. Okay, I do want to say I am going to play Dr. Phil. Number one, Dr. Phil is a talk show, and I know there's a lot of Dr. Phil fans out there, okay, but let me tell you something right now. It's not, people are not going to watch the Dr. Phil show if it's not salacious, if it's not going to grab somebody's attention. You know, when they do advertisements for today's Dr. Phil show, they're going to drop keywords and trigger words and bombs and things like that, okay? Please, when we watch this, take it with a grain of salt. I've heard stories of like they'll have people in there that have drug abuse issues or alcohol issues, and they'll give them a bottle of vodka before they come on stage. Like it's very controversial, okay? So again, I'm going to try to play it and I'm going to have to pause it every 30 seconds. Somebody got it and they're short clips. I don't know. We're going to try it. I'm not a big fan either. Terry drove a white Ford F-250 pickup. Okay. I'm going to try it. If the live disappears, if you stay here, I'll be right back. I'll just have to close it out and it'll take a second to realize that I've stopped playing it for it to come back. Oh, we're going to start with, wait a minute, we got some from 14 years ago. We're going to start with those actually, and then we'll go to Dr. Phil. So we got two from 14 years ago. These are
latest in the ongoing. Now to a story that first.
Okay, these are two clips from ABC. These come before the Dr. Phil. These are from 14 years ago. Oops, wrong one. All right, we're going to watch these first. I'm going to try to do it in order. So this is from ABC News. This is 14 years ago, and it is titled, quote, "I didn't kill my stepson," unquote, Kyron Horman.
Now to a story that first captured the nation's attention 5 years ago, the disappearance of 7-year-old Kyron Horman. His stepmom is now speaking out for the very first time, and ABC News is teaming up with People magazine to bring you the exclusive story from this week's issue of People.
Wait a minute. Wait just a damn minute. Birdie said, "I think it's silly how he tried to portray her on the show as some type of sex addict. Who cares? That doesn't make someone guilty. A lot of people use sex as a soother when under stress, in my opinion." Look, let me tell you something. If it's good, you're going to want it all the time. Okay? I know. They would classify me as a sex addict. I don't understand that. What does that have to do with this? I I'm going to leave that right there before I talk myself and give out too much information. But yeah, I would probably classify it as one too. Because yeah, if it's good, you're going to want to do it a lot. Hey, Megan. Good to see you. Good to see you, Sam, and Stolen Spirits. All right, here we go.
It's been over 5 years since the story first made national headlines, and the woman at the center of the case speaks out for the very first time to People magazine. 7-year-old Kyron Horman goes missing in June of 2010 after his stepmom, Terry Horman, says she dropped him off at the school science fair. No one realizes he's missing until the end of the school day.
He had not been at school that day and had been unaccounted for 6 hours. And nobody called me. And that's when the panic set in.
His shocking disappearance baffled investigators, and in the end, Kyron was never found.
If I could do anything differently, I'd keep Kyron home that day. That is something that you go back again and again. What if?
Terry didn't just lose her stepson. She says she lost her life as she knew it. She failed several polygraph tests about the disappearance of Kyron. Her marriage ended, and as part of the divorce proceedings, her husband accused her of hiring a hitman to kill him, which...
Okay. Number one, I will say she seems sincere when she says the one thing she would do different is she would keep him home that day. It is concerning that she failed polygraph tests, but I'm bipolar, so if they were going to give me a polygraph test because of the way my emotions are all over the place, that they're not supposed to give me a polygraph test, because more than likely I would fail it, and it wouldn't necessarily mean that I'd done anything because of my emotional state, and the way my emotions are all over the place all the time. And considering her emotional state and the mental health issues that even the dad was bringing up in divorce proceedings, I would think that she could possibly be some type of bipolar or something too. And you add stress about the situation. Everybody thinks she's a prime suspect. I mean, it could be a false negative. You know what I mean? It could just be because she was stressed out, and if you're bipolar and have mental health issues, you're not supposed to take lie detector tests. Or it could mean she's guilty. I don't know. Hey, Marcia. Marcia, you're funny.
She vehemently denies. Then she fled the state of Oregon, she says, to get away from harassment. While never officially charged, the suspicion surrounding Terry continues to this day.
I never harmed my son. I never wanted to harm my husband. And there's just so much information that is not being told to the public.
And joining me now, People magazine writer Elaine Aradias, who got the exclusive interview with Terry Horman. Thank you so much for being with us, Elaine.
Thank you.
And part of that suspicion that still surrounds Terry is notably because she failed those 2 lie detector tests. Did she discuss that and the impact that had on her?
She did. I mean,
Again, like I just said, if you have heightened mental issues, not mental issues. I mean, I have it, so you can fail, but you can also fail if you're lying. So I don't know, either way. But they aren't admissible in court because of that reason. Sorry.
at the beginning, she was cooperating. She went and took her lie detector test, and they told her that she failed it. She went back again a second time, and she didn't feel like it was being administered properly. She had not slept in days. She wasn't eating, and she said that she wasn't going to take it.
And then Terry ultimately went into seclusion. Why is she stepping back into the spotlight now? Why is she talking now?
Well, I think she has been trying to restart her life over and over again, but they sort of keep tracking her down and exposing her, and she wants to clear the suspicion around her. She wants to talk.
And I've heard about her and the biological mother coming on YouTube channels and things like that. I mean, you've seen a couple of people in our chat that said they've talked to them. So I think that she may want to clear suspicion around her too. I mean, it sounds like the media was involved and not being very nice about everything from the beginning. I saw something. Oh, Roxanne. Roxanne said, did she get or does she have any visitation with the baby girl she had at the time in the father's custody? I didn't think she did, but then because it said that she was denied visitation, but then she got supervised visitation, and then the dad took paperwork out on her for it said the word, which basically means that you kept the child longer than you were supposed to keep the child. So I think at some point she did and probably still does. That child might be grown by now or is about to be grown. So I think she does, if I had to guess. Anders, I think that's a great description of a polygraph.
And so she's chosen now to sort of tell her side.
In the past, I mean, we've heard from so many people in this case throughout the years, notably Kyron's biological mother. They've accused Terry of hating Kyron, of not being a good stepmom leading up until that fateful day when he went missing. What was your sense about their relationship after? I mean, because you've been speaking to her for several years now.
I have, and she has always been very loving when talking about him. She talks about his favorite color. She talks about what he wants to be when he grows up. And so I've never gotten the sense that she hated him.
What does she think happened that day? She was the last person to see him alive.
She says she wasn't. She says that there's someone else and that she thinks that he was taken from school.
Does Terry have any contact now with her daughter, who is now 7 years old, or her ex-husband?
She has not spoken with her daughter or her ex-husband now.
This was 14 years ago, okay? Things have changed. We read that in the timeline.
And there are no plans to, but she is being reintegrated with a relationship with her daughter.
All right, well, it is certainly a fascinating story. Elaine Ardiaz, thank you so much for joining us. And you can go to people.com for more exclusive video with Terry Horman. And then on Friday, Terry will tell her story in a People magazine and ABC News exclusive.
Okay, so that was that clip. I have another one. I think it's this one.
The latest in the ongoing search for little.
From, also from 14 years ago. And I'm going to play some clips from here, and we're going to check out, Morbid Injustice. I wrote it down. I wrote it down this time, so we can't forget. It's been 15 years since he went missing next month. You know, it is weird that he went missing from a school, but again, like, I mean, I think of Summer Wells, Sebastian Rogers. There's the Michael Vaughn, I think is his name, from Canada. The one that Abellis was telling me about. Dylan Ehlers right now. Lily and Jack Sullivan. I mean, these children all seem to disappear into thin air. And nobody, I mean, like I've said 1,000 times, you can tell me if you know, I don't know, the Prince of Arabia has a pimple on his ass, but you can't tell me where these children are. I don't, it irks my nerves. It irks my nerves. Janie Z said, it's more about the polygrapher themselves than the lie detecting instrument. You have to have a good polygrapher to get an accurate measurement. And I agree 100% with that. So, yeah, that is messed up. I wrote it down. Tara Williams' deceased son picked up from daycare. Do you know this person? I'm going to look into that case. I wrote it down. Schools were very different 15 years ago as far as security. Isn't a word. Oh, really? Michael Monkey Vaughn. Yep, that one too.
Kyron Horman. For the first time in weeks now, police are speaking about the investigation, holding a press conference yesterday where they gave few new details, but they did increase the reward money. Correspondent Priya David Clemens is in Portland this morning with more. Priya, good morning.
Erica, good morning to you here at Kyron's Elementary School, a daily reminder of the missing little boy. This wall of memories and good wishes continues to grow, even as the physical search for him has slowed down.
Our goals are to expedite the search for Kyron, to bring him home as quickly as possible, and to bring justice to any person responsible for his disappearance.
Kyron's mother, Desiree Young, again pleaded for help in finding her son, missing almost 2 months since June 4th.
We are still very hopeful.
While Multnomah County authorities spoke for the first time in 3 weeks, they gave few new details.
We believe that Kyron's disappearance involves criminal behavior because his parents have been deprived of their son for 53 days.
But the lack of new information
Okay,
may not
wait a
mean
minute.
the case is
Ho. I need to hear that again. Hold on.
new details.
We believe that Kyron's disappearance involves criminal behavior because his parents have been deprived of their son for 53 days.
Okay, we believe it involves criminal behavior just because his parents have been deprived of his son for 53 days. Like, I don't like the way that was worded. That's weird. It's just statistically more likely than a stranger. Oh, yeah, the parents are suspects all the way. Yeah, I mean, even to this day. Can you imagine going to your daycare to pick up your child and they say he's over there sleeping and you go and he's not alive? I could not imagine. I couldn't imagine. Yeah, I'd be losing my shit. And I'm so sorry that happened to somebody. A neighbor and his roommate have been arrested in the case. Unfortunately, he has not been recovered. Michael Monkey Bond. Oh, yeah. I tried to pull body cam of Stacy on that case, and they were like, nope, we're not giving you shit. It's an open investigation. And I was like, well, F you too then. I tried to look into that. Michael Dunahee, thank you, disappeared from British Columbia in March of 1991. He'd be 34 today. Yep. Yeah, somebody else would be dead too, definitely. Oh, the step-parent is a suspect. That's why he said parents technically. Okay. It is sad. Yeah, somebody else would be dead too.
But the lack of new information may not mean the case is stalled.
They want all the marbles, and when they have probable cause for the homicide, then they're going to move forward.
In fact, police have issued at least 3 search warrants to friends of Kyron's stepmother, Terry Horman. One of them to Dee Dee Spicer, who was also brought before a Portland grand jury. But officers have not publicly confirmed Terry Horman is their focus.
She is the suspect. She's been the suspect. She'll be the suspect until she's arrested, and she's the defendant.
Is there a possibility that Terry Horman was not involved?
I cannot imagine a scenario where she was not involved.
Kyron's birth parents continue to doubt Terry.
So I want to know what information they have that says that they can't imagine that she's not involved and why the parents continue to doubt Terry. Like, I need that information so I can understand everything.
And they're holding on to whatever optimism they have left.
We love you, Kyron. Never give up hope. We are all coming to get you, to bring you home.
But the family could be waiting for months. Experts we've spoken with here say, while we all want answers, this case is a marathon, not a sprint. Erica.
Priya, thanks. Priya David Clemens in Portland, Oregon this morning.
Okay. So, like I said, I need more information about why the stepmom is so suspicious. So I'm going to read what the website Crime Timeline says about stepmom Terry. Birdie says, the school failed them sadly. No matter what happened to that poor boy, we can't go into my son's school without being buzzed in and signed in. They didn't change some policies after this statewide. Most schools you have to be buzzed in. Sorry. Yeah, the schools are usually locked down now and you have to be buzzed in and out. They weren't allowed to take him from school. You sent me the article? Okay. I'll check that in just a minute. We're going to look at this one real quick. This is the, again, Crime Timelines. Kyron Horman case files, and it is Terry Moulton Horman. Terry Moulton Horman is born in Grass Valley, California in mid-March of 1970 and adopted by 2 elementary teachers, Carol Moulton and 32-year-old husband Larry. In 1982, the Moultons moved to Roseburg, where Horman grew up in a manicured middle-class neighborhood of single-story homes. So, wow. Okay, here's her whole case line. Terry Horman timeline. March 1970, Terry Horman is born in Grass Valley, California. She's adopted by Carol and Larry Moulton, both elementary teachers. 1982, the Moulton family moves to Roseburg, Oregon, where Terry grows up. November of 1991, Terry marries her first husband, Ron Traber Jr. They moved to Albany, Oregon, and run a storage facility before buying into a Chubby's restaurant franchise. I read that wrong. Before buying into a Chubby's restaurant franchise, which her parents support. The business fails, and in 1994, the couple and Terry's parents sue the franchise, settling for $250,000. March of 1993, Terry announces her first pregnancy with Ron Traber. January 26th of 1994, Terry gives birth to her son, who is named after her mother's maiden name, Logan. November of 1995, Terry and Ron divorce. She gains custody of her son and moves back to her parents' house in Roseburg, attending McDonald's fast food management school and working at a McDonald's in Cottage Grove. I wanted to make sure I wasn't muted. Police have also indicated that there are discrepancies in Terry Horman's account of what happened on the morning of June 4th. Police say she admitted to hating him. Oh my goodness. It's because Terry's actions days before, maybe months, were looked into, and there's proof that she was jealous of her stepson and father's relationship and did and has done suspicious stuff. Okay. Yeah, I think it means we're all staying open-minded, definitely. Oh, we're going to see Dr. Phil after we read this timeline. Hopefully I won't get shut down. All right, continuing on. Okay. August of 1996, Terry marries her second husband, Richard Ecker, in Springfield, Oregon. March 29th of 1998, Terry is hit by a drunk driver, leading to severe migraines and a pinched nerve. She pursues a bachelor's degree in elementary education at Northwest Christian University, funded by Richard. Hold on a minute. I gotta plug up this phone. So it'll be dead. Hold on just a minute. Okay. 2000. Oh, nope. August of 1998, Richard Ecker adopts James with Ron Traber relinquishing parental rights due to financial struggles. So basically, she said you don't have to pay child support if you let us adopt the child, and that's what happened, in my opinion. She looks like Lipecia. Schools did not have cameras like they do now. Also believe this was an evening showing for the family to walk through and see the exhibit. She simply was last custodial parental type person. Interesting. I think it was that morning, but could be wrong. Dr. Phil at 1.25 speed and stop it every so often and comment. You should be okay. Don't quote me. Yeah, I've tried that. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it don't. We'll find out. Okay, in 2000, Terry graduates with a teaching license, and then the family moves to Beaverton, Oregon for teaching opportunities. February of 2001, Terry and Richard buy a house in Aloha, Oregon, with help from her parents. March of 2001, Terry starts working as a substitute teacher in the Hillsborough School District. Mid-2002, Terry's marriage to Richard Eckler ends, and with her receiving primary custody of James. Ecker continues to pay child support. Spring of 2002, Terry begins working out intensely at Bally Total Fitness in Aloha. June of 2002, a long-term substitute teaching job at Lennox Elementary ends. That same month, she meets Kane Horman, and they start dating, leading to Kane's divorce from his then-wife, Desiree. Uh-oh. So that's a discrepancy. It was a morning. I thought so. Okay. So I don't know. I'll have to check the credentials of this website. I know that a lot of people use this website. And here it says that they started dating, which led to his divorce from Desiree. So I have to check the credentials of this website, but I know a lot of like mainstream YouTubers use it. I hope it's given accurate information. All right. August of 2002, Desiree files for divorce from Kane when she is 8 months pregnant with Kyron. September 9th of 2002, Kyron Horman is born to Desiree and Kane. December of 2002, Terry and her son James move in with Kane, assisting in Kyron's care. 2003, Terry earns a master's in art education from Pacific University. She continues as an on-call substitute teacher until 2006. 2004, Desiree relocates to Canada for medical treatment, granting Kane custody of Kyron. Terry cares for Kyron, teaching him sign language and recognizing his need for glasses. I don't think so. Let me look it up real quick. We'll see what it says. The website Crime Timelines provides a detailed chronology of events and actions related to a criminal case based on the evidence gathered. However, the accuracy of the information on this website may vary, and it is recommended to verify such information with reliable sources such as factcheck.org. I mean, I would say that's accredited as it's going to get, though, because they would say that pretty much with any website, I would think. Terry was investigated for the murder for hire plots 3 times before Kyron disappeared. She allegedly hired an ex-con to kill a boyfriend before moving to Portland. That's the one I've heard of, the ex-con to kill a boyfriend before moving to Portland. Yeah, we're only speculating. Thank you for reiterating that. Okay. 2004, Desiree relocated. Oh, we read that one. January of 2005, Terry begins rigorous bodybuilding transfer. Let me try that again after I get a sip of coffee. Okay. January 2005, Terry begins rigorous bodybuilding, transforming her physique and developing irritability, reportedly due to over-the-counter stimulants. April of 2005, Terry competes in the Emerald Cup bodybuilding competition, placing 4th in the Masters category. July 10th of 2005, Terry is arrested for driving under the influence with James in the car. She completes a diversion program. December of 2005, unable to secure a teaching job, Terry returns to restaurant work, taking an assistant manager position at Red Robin. August of 2006, Terry leaves her job at Red Robin. December of 2006, Kane sells the Aloha family home. January of 2007, the family moves to a secluded property in rural northwest Portland. April 15th of 2007, Terry and Kane marry in a beach ceremony in Kauai, Hawaii. I probably said that wrong. May of 2007, on Mother's Day, Kane gives Terry a red Ford Mustang GT. Terry is working as an assistant manager at a Newport Bay restaurant. March 2008. Okay, wait a minute. On Mother's Day, Kane gives Terry a red Ford Mustang GT. Like, I don't know. The timing's weird for me on that. It wasn't Christmas. It wasn't like even a birthday. I would think maybe for Christmas you could get a car, but Mother's Day? Like, maybe, I mean, I'm even thinking about like when taxes come back. Usually taxes come back like right around Valentine's Day. Like, even Easter. But for Mother's Day? And she's a step parent. I mean, I understand she like raised Kyron from a baby, but I'm not liking that. I'm not liking that. Yeah, it sounds like he cheated and she was really pregnant. My goodness. Okay. March 2008, Terry announces she's pregnant again, surprising Kane. November 12th, 2008, Kiara Ariel Horman is born, becoming the couple's only biological child. Terry struggles with postpartum depression. May 2009, Terry starts antidepressant medication. Kane notices growing strain in their marriage due to her depression. Late 2009, Terry reportedly hires a landscaper without Kane's knowledge and allegedly attempts to hire him to kill Kane, offering $10,000. This landscaper later informs the police. Oh, so on this one it says allegedly, right? Right there is allegedly. If we go back up, it doesn't say allegedly where it says that same month she met Kane Horman and they started dating, leading to Kane's divorce from his then wife Desiree. There is no allegedly there. But when we talk about the murder for hire in regards to Kane, allegedly is in there, which makes me feel like maybe it is credentialed. Yeah, if you have different facts, yeah, first of all, please state opinions as such unless you have facts. Say, in my opinion, or IMO, number one. Number two, if you have facts, please email them to me and let me know that you emailed them. I don't know that you can drop links. I will check my email while we watch a couple videos in just a second. Okay, January 2010. Terry's son James moves out to live with her parents in Roseburg following a conflict with her. Kane says Terry made the decision while he was away on business. February 2010, Terry renews her teaching certificate. Okay. Well, here's the case files. Here's the divorce paper. Wow. This site has everything. Whew. Yeah, we got everything. Okay, so we'll have to look at that. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, and that's it. Well, that's surprising. I didn't know it had all the case files here. Bertie said, I believe she originally hired him to do the yard work her young son was supposed to do, and she says she thought it was too much work for a kid. Kane wanted him to do the yard work, I guess. Oh, wow. All right, I'm going to leave that up in case we want to come back and look at the actual court documents. And we're going to go back to YouTube. All right, I'm going to share this Dr. Phil stuff. Now, again, let me say, please take it with a grain of salt. Dr. Phil is known to be extravagant with these cases he covers, I guess, would be a nice way to put it. And if the live goes down, just wait and I'll close it out and it'll take just a second, but it'll come back. So don't leave the live. Just wait a second and I should come back. They might strike me for playing Dr. Phil. We shall see. Okay, so the first one with Dr. Phil says, what was Terry Horman
you're posting on Facebook
texting weeks after stepson Kyron Horman disappeared? We're going to have to speed it up to 1.25. I will add captions and I'm going to have to pause occasionally, and we need to get Inspector BS. I will have Inspector BS, a version of Inspector BS on some merch soon. Yeah, don't leave if we disappear. because we'll be right back. Okay, so he said you're posting stuff on Facebook.
A few days afterwards with things that some people were critical of. For example, saying, hitting the gym tomorrow. I didn't get home until 8 p.m. tonight.
So this is June 8th. That was June 2nd. June 2nd was when Kyron disappeared. What is this? 5 days afterwards? I mean, if she works out to, like, if that's how she handles her stress, I could see it. It's not like she put a bunch of smiley faces and hearts and love emojis.
This is 4 days after Kyron has gone missing.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, you don't know if he is been kidnapped and is being raped and tortured, is lying dead and cold in a ditch.
I mean, all of those facts are true, but is it something we have to say to a parent who cared for this child from the age of infancy? I miss you in anticipation of you disappearing. Y'all, the chat won't disappear. I'll just disappear for a minute if it happens. I mean, do we have to say, like, child's being raped and tortured and is dead and cold in a ditch? Like, is it really necessary to say that to the parent of a missing child? I don't think so. Right. I agree. That is an awful thing to say. Like, what the hell?
You don't know what is going on, and you say, hitting the gym tomorrow, I didn't get home until 8 p.m. tonight. That, I think, would be viewed as a lot of people as atypical behavior for a distraught mother of a missing child.
Well, that would be because the law enforcement told us to do things that we normally do.
So with that, I mean, again, if that's how she relieves her stress, I mean, it sounds like from the timeline we just read that in order for her to relieve stress when she gets anxious and upset, like anything major happens in her life, she works out to get rid of the stress and pressure, and that's kind of like her happy place, okay? So she's really stressed out and upset about her child missing, so what she's going to go to her happy place, which for her was the gym, is what I'm thinking. I hope Dr. Phil chases us. You're so funny.
So they want you to go grocery shopping. They want you to go to the gym. They actually specifically told both Kane and I, and he was with me that day when we went.
Did they tell you to...
That was important. Kane was with me when we went, but nobody's asking Kane why he went to the gym. I don't know. I mean, that went by kind of fast, but it was important for us to know that Kane was with her that day that she went to the gym. Why post it? Oh, I mean, yeah, that's a good point. Why post it on Facebook? Right. I agree, Daydreamer. Thank you for being here. Yeah, just the fact that she felt the need to post it, yeah. I mean, I could see that. I don't know. We read in the timeline that she also posted a lot of information about Kyron, but to be fair, maybe it was after she got a lot of backlash for posting that. I don't know. She didn't take her Facebook down and say she was single, though, so, you know.
Sexed with someone 26 days afterwards?
Wait a minute. Hold on just a minute.
And he was with me that day when we went.
Did they tell you to sext with someone 26 days afterwards?
No.
Because I found this really strange behavior. And I have to tell you, I have a hard time squaring this up. And
okay. Terry's text 26 days after Kyron's disappearance. Who are we texting? It says 10:22, whatever, like I'm going to get any ever again. Just tell Jason Statham I am available for whatever. You are a doll. Men don't approach me because they know I can outbench them. Do you know I've never dated anyone I could bench their weight? I couldn't bench their weight. I can do 195. That's how I roll. I mean, it's a comment made in passing. Maybe not the best time to say whatever, like I'm ever going to get any ever again anyway, but I mean, then she's talking about how men don't approach her and how much she can bench. The only thing even talking about sex is whatever, like I'm ever going to get, like I'm going to get any ever again. I mean, I don't know. To be fair, it's like a normal conversation between girls, I suppose, when nothing's wrong. But and I mean that doesn't look good, but it's also been a month afterward. Pretty much a month. And it's not like they're sexting like, "Oh yeah, I feel it. It feels good. Oh yeah. Oh, it's not fucking sexting. It's like a comment made in passing, in my opinion. It gets worse. Oh, okay. Birdie said, "See, I really don't know why, other than being a pervert, why Dr. Phil is so concerned about her sexting with some dude." Well, I think this is a girl because she says you're a doll. I could definitely be wrong. Hey, Abraham, good to see you. It gets worse. Yeah, it gets worse. Okay. All right. Well, let's see.
I have to say, I took out. There were many of these that I just simply FCC can't put up, and I'm only putting
The FCC won't let me be, or let me be.
your side up here, but you're texting with a man, and you say whatever, like I'm going to get any ever again.
He did say she's texting with a man. Okay. I don't really see much need to show these messages because what good does this do? I'm with you. I don't find it right to insert it into a conversation of a missing child. I agree. Wasn't Dr. Phil a pervert too? Didn't he have a sex scandal? He did, from what I remember. At one point, she is texting a man, a friend of Kane. Okay. See, they're looking into everything, and again, at the time, this case was well known in the news, so they're gonna dig up every single last thing they can and try to make it every which way, a certain way. And like I said before, I even started playing Dr. Phil. Keep in mind that they play things that are so salacious for views. For views, it's all about views. So. You think so, Cara? That's disgusting.
Tell Jason Statham I'm available for whatever. I can bench, you're talking about bench pressing, I can do 195, that's how I roll. Then you say, you're flirting around, I'm stronger than you. He responds. You say, we need to arm wrestle. Meanwhile, just know I can take you down. I won't hurt you, though. I'll pin you down and sit on you.
Okay. I mean, this is hard because, 26 days after the disappearance, if you don't, I don't know, how to say, if you don't try to occupy your mind with something else, you're going to drive yourself crazy thinking about what could be happening to your child, stepchild, or, this child, that child, those children over there, okay? But I don't know if I would be sexting another man either at that point in time. And I see where the sex addict thing came in. But again, I think it's to relieve stress. And you can't just be like wallowing in your sorrow thinking about what's happening. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it. Is today's Abraham's birthday? We hate Dr. Phil. I'm old. Oh, you're good. Today is Abraham's birthday. Oh, okay. We're going to take a second so I can play the birthday song for Abraham. Dang, it's a female version. I've got to find a male version, but I'm going to play it for you anyway. Happy birthday, Abraham. That song got some bass. My headphones were bumping. Happy birthday, Abraham. I hope you have a lovely birthday. I gotta find a guy version. Aw, thanks. Happy birthday, Abraham. I hope you have a good day, sweetheart. What did Birdie say? Oh, that's a good point, Megan. They might have been talking about you. People who work out have more sex hormones or a higher sex drive. Gender neutral birthday one too. Okay, I'll work on that. Happy birthday again, Abraham. I hope you have a great day. Hey, Mallory. You think there are other reasons she is sus, but her wanting to have a sexual relationship is just one of them. I think it shows her self-centeredness because she still married at this point. Yeah, I was thinking about that. And she's talking about these things with one of Kane's friends. It's just kind of off-putting, I think. I think so. I think that's kind of... It doesn't help the situation because she's still married at the time. But I don't think it's as salacious as they make it out to be either.
I take it you're attracted to me. Okay, I didn't want to ravish you or anything. Insert evil grin with latex. Whoops, did I say that out loud? If you
Insert evil grin with latex. Okay, I didn't want to ravish you. Okay, I didn't want to ravish you or anything. Insert evil grin with latex. Did I say that out loud? If you didn't have your son tonight, I would show you what I think of you. I may have to clear it with the boss, Steve, a.k.a. lawyer extraordinaire. I mean, again, these are personal text messages, but yeah.
you didn't have your son tonight, I would show you what I think of you. I may have to clear it with the boss. You talk about hiring this defense lawyer extraordinaire. You're toast, beware. Grin, going to bed, underwear and tank top. Think about that. Do you want to pick?
And then she sent a photo. She thought that's only the left one. Oh, wow. Okay. She thought Kane was cheating. It shows me a level of immaturity. Hey, oh, look, a squirrel. Whip sounds. Oh, goodness. This is a text from a lonely wife, a vengeful wife. Yeah, and there's a level of immaturity about it. If it was my child missing and my husband did this, I would be broken, even more heartbroken. I agree with that. Aw. I'm so glad you liked it. I hope you have a good birthday. I really do. Yeah, I'm with you, Abellis. Like, why does this matter? Because it's not really, I mean, I think it's more of just to make a show for Dr. Phil at this point. I mean, I'm kind of watching it with you guys to get an understanding, but yeah, I don't think it's of relevance, honestly.
Do you want to pick? Then you send a photo and say, that's only the left one. I quote unquote aim to please. Did you want something bigger? Another photo. I mean, it gets much more graphic. So this, we're talking not 3 weeks that your son has been missing.
And not 2 weeks into it, this is what Kane's doing with somebody else.
So there you go. I mean, Kane's doing that with somebody else, but I don't know. I don't know. Again, like Abella said, relevance.
Well, I'm talking about you as a mother.
Exactly.
Kane's not here. He's been here. You're here. I'm asking you, you're a mother with a missing child.
This was in retaliation for something that he was doing that I found out about while this is happening. And this particular person was actually his friend and sent to the house. So this was a setup. I'm saying this person came to the house. He was Kane's friend. I did this deliberately because I was angry and getting back at him.
So you text.
Again, I go back to the level of immaturity. Dr. Phil is perv with humiliating others' kink, in my opinion, but my opinion is based on years in the kink community and some pro. Okay. Yeah, I think Phil is doing too much. Even Basil's about to walk off. Yeah, I think Dr. Phil's doing a little too much here, in my opinion.
And say, I'll show you what pleasure is.
I had no interest in having this person in my life. This was something to screw with Kane because I was angry with him because he was doing the exact same thing with somebody else.
But you apparently are trying to hide it because at one point you say, I can't talk, bugs in the house, in danger if I go outside. I want you.
Okay, you need to know I find you incredibly sexy and what you, babe. I will show you what pleasure is. I can't talk, bugs in the house, and danger if I go outside. I want you so bad. I don't know what it is about you, but I'm very attracted to you. Give me 15 minutes and I will make you moan. Are you getting horny yet? I want, and then there's a photo. Again, relevance. I mean, I feel you. Why aren't we both worried about Kyron? Because both of them, both, keyword 2, parties involved are talking to other people. But relevance is my question.
You so bad. I don't know what it is about you, but I'm very attracted to you. Give me 15 minutes and I will make you moan. I mean, and you're saying I can't do this where anybody can hear me, and you're sending very graphic photos. I mean, we're clinically graphic photos here, right? And you're saying this is for revenge?
Yeah, but also by this time we're not even together anymore.
Okay. Well, you know, level of immaturity. I mean, you're not together.
The latest in the ongoing search for little Kyron Horman.
You're not together with the father anymore. Both of y'all are seeing other people, and if you are going around getting a man that way, the relationship ain't going to last long anyway. I would say relevance and rebound if I had to say something at all. Okay, so in this clip, she says she explains why she believes she failed to, I'm going to assume,
There's been a lot
polygraph.
made of the fact that you've taken 3 polygraphs.
Explains why she believes she failed 2 polygraph tests. I don't know. A lot of times you have to submit that stuff to Dr. Phil, but I don't know. I don't. It's the stepmom. She's been supposedly the last person to see Kyron, but he was seen at school by another student possibly, and then didn't report to homeroom. That's all we really know.
And that the polygraph operators have reported that you failed the first 2 polygraphs and that you walked out in frustration on the 3rd before it really got going. 2 polygraphs.
Okay, it says Desiree and Kane's accusation against Terry. Number 1, wrote emails to her friends saying she hated Kyron. Blamed marital problems on Kyron. Asked Desiree to take custody of Kyron. Made Kyron's disappearance about her. Got hair done, put on makeup, went to gym after disappearance. Failed 2 polygraphs, walked out on 3rd. Terry is the stepmom, yes. Hey, Surrey. Good to see you. He's called Inspector Bunny or Inspector BS. Yep. Daydreamer said it's odd how they show these messages but don't show these supposed hate messages that Kyron's bio mom claimed. If they really were such hate messages, why not show those instead of talking? Yeah. You got a wonderful point there. If we know all of these and can verify that, why are we not showing those? But we're going to show the sexting. Okay. Yeah, trying to make a point about her mindset, but I mean, I don't know. It felt awkward to me. But I didn't see the whole episode either. I'm seeing just these clips in real time with you guys, so I don't know.
And that you walked out in frustration on the 3rd before it really got going.
Hey, Ryan.
And you've said that the first polygraph seemed to be kind of a normal protocol. The second one seemed like a hurry-up job that they didn't really do half of what they did on the first one.
Right.
And the 3rd one was very frustrated, and you didn't actually do it.
Let me make sure I've got this sped up. Yeah. Okay.
So the first one was approximately an hour long, and reading the results took about 3 hours to do it. I'm very hard of hearing, virtually deaf in my left ear, so I have to look at people when I talk to them to understand what they're saying. He was behind me when he was doing the first polygraph. So it took me a little bit of time to process what he was saying to respond. I was gone for the 3 hours while he put it together, came back, and he just, I don't even know what was up on the screen, but he said, you failed. And I was like, how can I possibly fail? I told the truth. And then they came in, 2 of the...
Abraham, no, she was not convicted. She's a suspect or has been a suspect, but she was not convicted. All I need is Jesus. It's good to see you. We are just looking at the case and just making assumptions on what we see, going this way or that way. You know, we're all just speculating. I don't think we're defending one person over the other. We're just giving our opinions, thoughts, and speculations on the case. I don't know. I don't know how old she was. Let's see. Terry Horman. I'm going to keep it on this page. Hold on. Okay, I said, how old was Terry Horman when she went on Dr. Phil? It says Terry Horman was involved in the disappearance of 7-year-old Kyron Horman. She went on the Dr. Phil show and claimed that the man in the white pickup truck kidnapped Kyron. Terry was the last person to see Kyron. It doesn't tell me how old she was, though. Um, 2016 is when she went on the Dr. Phil show. So it would have been like 5 years after Kyron disappeared. Maybe 30s, early 40s. Yeah, 39. 48 Hours did do an episode on this. We read that in the timeline. She was born in March of 1970, 80, 90, 2000, 2010. Oh, wait. She was like 46? 70, 80, 90, 2000, 2010. Yeah, 46. Yep. Oh, yeah, I have a tree frog and a card for Kyron on my prayer wall. Oh, that is so sweet, Megan. 39 at Kyron's disappearance. Okay. So how long after somebody goes missing are you allowed to have sex? Maybe she was scared, feeling alone, and just needed some kind of attention. It's possible. Yeah. I mean, again, I referenced the working out, like the stress hormones and all that. I don't know. It's definitely odd 26 days afterwards. I will be fair about that. And for Kane to do it as well, it's definitely odd. But my biggest issue with blaming the parents for these disappearances is that, like, I feel like they'd be arrested. Like, if these parents had anything to do with the disappearance of these children, like, these parents aren't out here, working for the CIA, okay? They're not that, I mean, you would get caught, in my opinion. Yeah, she's deaf in one ear is why she failed the lie detector test. Sure, said LJ, being sarcastic. I think it could be that could have a bearing on it. Also, the mental, the how she is in her mental state could have a bearing on it too. Or she could have failed because she lied. We don't know yet. I mean, I agree. How could you think of getting dick down while your child's missing, for fuck's sake? I agree. Jen is free. I mean, yeah, y'all got points. Y'all got points. Y'all got good points.
Bobby O'Donnell, lead investigator, another guy named Will, he's an FBI guy, he was part of the group, and we're talking to me about it, and after discussion of it, I was upset. Went back and I had, at that time, called Kane, and I told them, I'm just done cooperating. I've had it. I cannot believe that they're focused on me, or they're not focusing where they need to be. And they took me home. I was at home. The lead investigator of FBI, his name's Lee Gossam, he called me over to the school, or the fire station.
So you can't be upset. They're going to focus on you. Hey, Princess Pillow, because you're the last person seen with him, as far as anybody knows.
And asked that we have a discussion, and about saying that they needed my help to continue on because I know Kyron as well as I do. Excuse me, I agreed that I would. I just said, I'm just angry because of all this is going on. He said, well, had you had any other reaction, I would have thought that you were guilty because I don't feel that way about you.
Now, that's just a ploy to keep her talking, in my opinion. Oh, thank you, Abraham. This isn't Basil on the screen, but there are emojis for Basil. Are you, you're saying she was 46? I thought you were saying thumbs up, number 46. If y'all don't mind, please hit the thumbs up.
The second polygraph was, the guy was in a rush.
Well, how much do you rely on reading lips?
It's heavy enough. I have to see the context of the person, what they're saying, their facial expression. It helps a lot.
You had your back to him?
Yeah, if I'm sitting this way and I'm doing it, he's right here at a table. So I can hear out of this ear. It's just, it makes it much more difficult.
Well, we spoke to Jack Tremarco, who does a lot of polygraph work for us.
Okay. So if you're deaf in one ear and you need to see people's lips I mean, you could possibly hear out of one ear just fine, but depending on where he is behind you, you might not be able to hear maybe. Surrey G says, personally, I don't really hold stock in lie detector test results. Remember, lie detectors are nearly the same as the machines the Scientologists use. You're right. And they're not admissible in court. I agree about the sex rules. I don't know what all that means around grief. It's part of what causes salacious news. Sex craved monster. Terry is a monster, but not because she likes sex. I could agree. The show cause PDF is pretty interesting. Okay. He is rude and condescending. Well, Terry actually made a good point saying she wants the focus to be on Kyron, and I do agree because the victim should always come first. I agree with that too. You took him to school and was never seen again. Let's look into the neighbor down the street, ma'am. That's not how it works. I agree with that too.
And he said that it's very possible for hearing to affect a test result. He said, definitely, if you have a hearing problem, that's very possible that it would affect a test result. I consider him to be the best of the best.
All I need is Jesus said, I saw an interview with the real mom, and she said they were about to charge Terry till Casey Anthony got up, then everything changed. But they have Kyron's blood in the truck, and they found cell phones. I need to verify that. Do you know that were buried in a random place? I need to verify that. If I could verify that, I would love to hear it. Well, I hope you enjoy your dinner. Did anyone witness her dropping him off or anything? So there's a picture of him at the science fair at 8:45 that morning. A child said they saw him walking in the hallway at 9. They said he was by the south entrance at 9 a.m. and then at 10 a.m. he's not in class. That's what we read on the timeline that we had pulled up on crimetimelines.com. Okay, you can't drop the link. I've got a couple other websites to try. I wanted to see what this Dr. Phil stuff was. So, and I got a playlist. I think I might, I don't know if we'll have time today, but if I don't, I'm going to definitely look into Morbid Injustice. They came in and said they had a lot of information too. I'm going to definitely try to find what I can about this case, especially since they're renewing the investigation.
He said, but in the pre-test portion of the polygraph, questions are reviewed and it is established that the questions are understood and that it should have been established that she wasn't hearing well before the test was given if that was a problem.
I told him that. I told the polygrapher that.
And he still got behind you?
Yes. I told him I couldn't hear. Then he made it so that I was scooted over enough that I could hear more out of my right ear.
Did you hear the questions?
I did, but it took a minute to get them.
What did he ask you?
So y'all are saying that there's witnesses, including a child and a grandmother, who say they saw Kyron leave with Terry. Okay, and a bus driver. Oh wow, I would need to verify that, but yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I agree, Stolen. I agree.
One of the questions was Kyron in the truck with you? Well, there's a fail right there, because he was in the truck with me on the way to school, but not when we're leaving. So that one I can't even get right. And that was the one that I supposedly failed.
He didn't ask you if you
Didn't ask me if I murdered my son.
Where he was?
He did ask if I knew. What? Do you know who has him, or yeah? Do you know who has him or where he is? But the one that was failed was whether or not he was in the truck with me.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, you would fail that because he was on the way to school, but then after school, he wouldn't have been. This is the last Dr. Phil. It says stepmom.
Terry Horman, Kyron's stepmother, was the last known person to...
A missing Kyron Horman claims she was told to lie to the media. I live in Oregon. I was 10 when Kyron vanished. My teacher passed out flyers of Kyron to my classmates. It was so sad. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I wonder if they found something new or if they're just going to do what they did with that cold justice case and just take a crack at it using what they have. I think it said that they were adding, making everything about the case digital now, and they're going to have the FBI and the BAU go over it again and see what they can figure out. But they did hint that it was more along the lines of a criminal investigation.
See the second grader on June 4th.
I believe that Terry Horman knows where Kyron is.
Stepmom Terry Horman remains at the center of the investigation.
Now, Kane Horman has filed for divorce and also slapped Terry with a restraining order.
She talked about failing polygraphs. The story to her and the story to me in multiple different occasions didn't line up.
Is Terry a drinker?
I believe that she was, yes.
Did she get a DUI?
I believe it was a DUI and also child endangerment. Her son was in the backseat.
She put down in...
Okay. Please keep in mind that we're taking angry, upset divorcees, people that have divorced each other, and then the mother, the biological mother, who, to be fair, the dad might have cheated with the stepmother, and we're taking these people, we're listening to what they say. So, of course, they're going to feel some type of way about the situation. Please keep that in mind. I think she paid someone to do the deed. She strikes me like the type that would use sex as a way to get someone to do stuff for her. I don't disagree with that. I could see it as a possible speculation. Terry had also told the school he had an appointment that day. Really? Okay. Plus, he brought resources and media to more people knowing and such. So that's good either way, I think. You're right about that, talking about Dr. Phil. To whoever commented on her makeup, yes, crazy pumpkin shade. It was. Yep, I agree.
Writing that her and Kane were up until 3 in the morning fighting about their marital problems, that she had told him she was done with it all, that she was moving back to Roseburg, they were getting a divorce, and it was going to be Friday, the day that Kyron went missing.
So,
really? That's interesting if it's true. The restraining order is on that website. Yeah, we need to look at the website. I only remember bits and pieces of the case, too. I hope not.
you think that she might have done something to Kyron to hurt Kane?
Yes, definitely.
What do you say to that?
There was no email or writing. I don't even know what she's. Wow.
I mean, we were just talking about, she said there's no email. She didn't submit an email. So her saying that there's no email, they never pull up an email. Terry claimed the doctor's appointment was on the following week. Okay. That's what the website said. I don't know. Evidently, Kane had started dating Terry while Desiree was pregnant with Kyron, and they were together when Kyron was born. Evidently. That's what the website said anyway.
No. So much to address in that. First of all, there was no something written. I don't know what she's talking about written, because Kane and I did not have a fight the night before.
So you two were not on the brink of divorce?
We had issues, but we weren't fighting. We didn't fight. It was discussions, maybe heated discussions, but we didn't have screaming, yelling matches of any kind. But of course, people are going to have, not see eye to eye in a marriage.
Was the marriage unwinding
I agree with that statement.
at this point? Was the marriage in trouble?
I wasn't happy, yeah.
You were unhappy?
I wasn't happy.
And did he know that?
I had told him as much, but he's not very good at listening sometimes.
Because I've seen footage, and all of the press asking you about that, and you're saying, no, everything's fine, that's all a rumor.
I was told to. I was told by law enforcement when that particular thing they told me, if you get caught by the media for any reason, if they come on you and you're not expecting it, just whatever you can make up at the time. Just make sure, just tell them everything's fine if they ask. That's what I was told to say.
But you
Okay, but that would be in reference to the case, I think, not necessarily your personal life. It was Dee Dee after the fact, you think? Oh, wow. But wouldn't he have been out of school already? Why would she tell him about an appointment he will have when school's out, right? Good point. Kane was a real piece. Yeah, you had issues. You were sexting some other guy, and you said that he was cheating. Yeah. Hey, Lori. Good to see you. Yeah, school continued after the science fair, and Kyron never returned to class. That is definitive. Sure, Dan. Yeah, how many tragedies start in an affair? There was a lot, evidently. If L.E. did tell her to, yeah, exactly. If they did tell her to say that, it would pertain to the case, not everything in life.
lied to the media.
Yes. In that case, yes, because I was told to.
So some cop tells you to lie about your status, and you say okay. Some cop tells you don't go and talk about finding your son, and you say okay. I don't understand that. It would seem to me if your son is missing, absolute transparency would be your number one tool in finding that child. Transparency and getting out there and putting the word out there. Transparency and saying, I don't want any drama. I don't want any mystery. I'm going to tell you the truth about anything and everything. But instead, you don't speak out. And when you're
Again, I mean, talking about, you guys talking about her makeup, I just wanted to point out that, okay, please, again, when we're talking about the Dr. Phil show, he's talking about her sexting, and he's trying to present her as this sex-crazed woman, right? And then we've got her in this heavy makeup that's kind of clashing with her hair. We've got the dress on with the shade of makeup in orange and the shade of hair in red, and it's just... And it's low cut and it's short and the heavy makeup. I mean, they're presenting her as something right now. And just keep that in mind, again, when it comes to Dr. Phil.
You're asked questions about the status, you lie about it. That doesn't, I don't understand that. And if you did follow that advice, why are you speaking out now?
Because he needs to be found.
We need to be found then.
Yes, I was told not. I was following orders. I'm doing what I'm told to do because I want him found. They're saying do it a certain way. And I did everything I was ever asked to do. I spoke openly for hours on end with investigators, open book, told them every horrible little dirty secret I ever had in my life, anything that was going to help to find him, anything. I didn't care. But I could see how if somebody's not on the inside of what's going on, how they could see it a different way. But
She seems cooperative. And again, she told him everything. And yeah, I could see how some people could see that as well, maybe not. I was looking at it maybe not as low cut as I originally thought, but it looked a little low cut a minute ago. I apologize. It's not very low cut like I thought it was. It was the angle, I guess. But yeah, she's telling them every single thing, and people could put it together and make this horrific painting because, again, she's very immature. But I don't know.
I did everything I was supposed to do, and it still wasn't good enough. And everything gets twisted and turned, and it became this just this attack against me instead of the focus of being him. After I retained an attorney, then I was told not to talk, and I asked him to talk for me, and he wouldn't.
I've worked with law enforcement a lot, and I've heard them say to principals involved in a case, don't talk to the media. I've never heard them say, tell them a flat-out lie about your status.
Exactly.
I've never heard that. They ask you about your marital status, lie.
They said if you get caught off guard, you say whatever you need to get them to get out of your space.
And I believe that something like that could have been said because this case garnered so much media attention so quickly and there were so many salacious rumors. I think that they could have said that, but they were talking about the case in general, not her relationship status and things like that. You think so, Daydreamer, the teachers were negligent? Janie said, yeah, and it's not like there's a playbook for this kind of thing. Nobody knows how you'll react. Exactly. Cara says she seems cooperative, but I'm still skeptical. I'm jaded by all the other step monster cases we've seen, so it's really hard to believe her. It's just my biases, though. I think I'm with you on that. I think I'm with you on that. Fire, oh my God. Gasoline draws. All right. So we can go to I don't know. Let's look at some of these documents real quick, and then we'll go back to the videos. She got a naturally mean grill, too. That ain't helping. Yeah, I agree. RBF, resting bitch face. This is the Horman Affair PDF. Oh, I might have to download it. Okay. So, in the matter of marriage of Kane Horton, thought it was Horman, and Terry Lynn Moulton, the court advised that the MC Major Crimes team can no longer stand by their previous assertion that release of information from the file in the above entitled matter would undermine their investigation into the disappearance of Kyron Horman. Email attached. Petitioner no longer objects to release of information from the file with the exception of information concerning the address and location of he and his child, and that respondent is making no objection to release of the file. It is therefore ordered with the exception of information relating to the addresses of petitioner and the party's child. The order entered June 28, 2010 restricting access to the file in the above case is vacated. So, this is Horman case. This confirms my discussion with you earlier this evening. After speaking with Mr. Bosworth and Ms. Rackner, I called you and informed you that given the media coverage over the past long weekend, the Multnomah County Major Crimes Team could no longer stand by its assertion. In my affidavit, unsealing the sealed matters before you would undermine our ongoing criminal investigation, I express no opinion or any position Terry Horman might have in the matter. You told me of your intent to decide what further action was warranted after you reviewed the sealed documents when your court was open again on Thursday, July 8th. Okay, so already I have a question, like, why do we think that divorce papers or any of these... Hey, Allison. Why do we feel like these papers or any kind of documents about their marriage and their relationship and all of that is going to have any effect on the case in general? Like, why was that ever a thought? Unless Terry was and always has been a suspect, and that the possibility of a 3 a.m. argument and they were going to get divorced anyway on the day Kyron went missing is relevant to Kyron's disappearance, or they think it could be at that time. They said he was seen at the science fair and not after at the school. Yeah, sorry, we read a timeline on crimetimelines.com, and it said that he was at the science fair. It showed a picture at 8:45, and then a student says that they see him at 9 a.m. by the south entrance of the school, but he's in the hallway at the south entrance of the school, and then at 10 a.m. the teacher says he's absent. Yeah, it's been 15 years and no sightings. That is not good. Okay. You must obey all provisions of the restraining order. Spouses, registered domestic partners, or adults related by blood, marriage, or adoption have been involved in a sexually intimate relationship within the last 2 years. Respondent has abused petitioner as defined by ORS .705, the abuse occurred within the last 180 days as provided in ORS. Respondent represents a credible threat to the physical safety of petitioner or petitioner's children, and the petitioner is in imminent danger of further abuse. The order involves minor children. Custody, parenting time, matter pending. Respondent is restrained and prohibited from intimidating, molesting, interfering, or menacing petitioner, or attempting to intimidate, molest, interfere, or menace petitioner directly or through third parties. Respondent is restrained, prohibited from intimidate, yeah, all of those. She can't go to the Edge Gym. Addresses Skyline Elementary School. 500 feet of those places. She can't contact or attempt to contact. All right, those are all normal things. I want to read the allegations. No parenting time. Because, explain why, and there's no explanation. I'm going to put these documents as much as I can up on my Patreon, but I've shown you guys how to get them for yourself. United States Corpse Incorporated. Okay, I have to be careful about who I play because they'll strike me. He was seen at 9 a.m. That's interesting because Terry said that she left at 8:45. Yeah, hold on, I'll show you. I'm going to read this document and then we'll go back to it. I believe respondent is involved with the disappearance of my son Kyron, who has been missing since June 4, 2010. I also recently learned that respondent attempted to hire someone to murder me. The police have provided me with probable cause to believe the above two statements to be true. Respondent attempted to hire someone to murder me. Not sure. That's saying she has to stay away from the baby because she hired someone to murder him. Divorce proceeding filed in multiple counties. I paid or will pay money. Respondent attempted to hire someone to murder me. I mean, that's what most of it says. I am the attorney. Both litigants in this case have high-profile existence in family relations, which garner media's attention. Petitioner's non-joint child, Kyron, is a missing person, and his disappearance is the subject of an ongoing criminal investigation. The disclosure of information pertaining to parties' family information and other matters involved in this proceeding will make the parties a target of further media and public scrutiny. The disclosure of this information will be detrimental to the petitioner and his privacy rights and could affect the interest and privacy right of other family members. Information regarding the party's income and financial status will also be disclosed. This information is sensitive. The proposed order would allow the court, the parties, the respective attorneys, and any government agency to have access to the file. This is a private family matter. Okay. Let me show you the beginning of the timeline. Okay. You think, yeah, I mean, maybe it's possible. If it's true about hiring someone, that is a crime in and of itself, and why was she not arrested? That's a good point, Indy. Okay, the timeline of the disappearance of Kyron Horman started on Friday, June 4th at 8 a.m. Skyline Elementary opens for the science fair. Terry and Kyron Horman arrived shortly after. 8:15, Skyline PTA President Zimmerman sees Kyron with his stepmother, Terry, in front of his exhibit. At 8:45, Terry Horman leaves the school after watching Kyron walk toward his classroom. At 9 a.m., another student reports seeing Kyron near the south entrance of the school. And then at 10 a.m., class begins. Kyron's homeroom teacher reports him as absent. So, my issue is, did the student think that they saw Kyron but had the days confused, or did they actually see Kyron? Like, did Terry take him to the science fair and then leave with him and something nefarious happened? Or was he really seen by that student that day, and then what? What happened? Yeah, if she left before Kyron was seen, then that's not possible. But did the student have days mixed up? Because the only person that ever saw him was one student, and that means that they could have had their days mixed up. I don't know. It's questionable. All right. Let's go here. I want to see what Morbid Injustice did. What am I doing? Okay. Let's try it this way. Try it that way. Bring Kyron home. 19 videos. No. Okay. Facebook groups for Kyron. Lordy, have mercy. I wanted to see the playlist, not play the playlist. Okay. School supplies inspired by Kyron Horman. Update. Chris Thorne joins us. Oh, Arctic Fox True Crime. I know who that is. Do not order the Wicked Happy Meal at 3 a.m. Oh, goodness. What else are they lying about? The groundskeeper changes story, leaves from Mexico after Kyron vanished. Okay, so these are all short videos. I'm going to drop their link and see what they have to say. Real quick. I like Arctic Fox too. He's really cool. I will give Inspector BS the rest of the day off. Alright, so these are all short videos. Let me grab my phone and drop their link. This is from Morbid Injustice. They came into our chat earlier and said that we could play their videos. So, I'm going to grab their link and I'm going to pin it to the top, and then we'll watch, because all of these videos are like a couple of seconds long. So we will see what they have to say. There we go. Now I'm going to pin their link at the top. Okay. So, it starts 2 years ago. Divorce documents don't lie. They are public. What else are they lying about? Now, you can get these divorce documents online, and you can get these divorce documents online. I just showed you where. Oh, no. She left her gym daycare and made sure she was seen there, but never worked out. The little one had an ear infection, but she left her at the gym daycare and made sure she was seen there, but never worked out. Oh, okay. I think the boy was mistaken about the time. After Terry left, she did some shady, strange things. Really? I think she took him to school and convinced him that she was gonna come pick him up so they could go do something together just so he could be seen in school. I mean, I'm wondering that myself. There has to be some basis if she had her kid taken away essentially for this crime, right? Right. It's what it seems like. Okay. So this is from, I'm going to close out this. Morbid Injustice. It says, the book is a lie. She gave Kane primary custody, not sole custody, in March of 2004. The book claims she visited Canada in August of 2004, and it implies she moved there shortly after. She also claims that the agreement would revert back to her having primary custody of Kyron when she returned to Oregon, and that Kane didn't honor their agreement. The agreement never said that. So I guess talking about Desiree. She also claims in the book that Kane was still paying child support to her even after giving up primary custody, but that's not what the divorce documents say. She also claims to have fought for custody when she returned, but she never filed anything after giving Kane primary custody. She always had visitation rights set up. She was planning on moving to Canada prior to March 2004. The original custody and divorce agreement was set in place in February of 2003. Divorce attorney withdrew her representation once the original custody matter and divorce settled. Also, where Desiree claims that Kane didn't follow through on the agreement, D.Y. stated under oath that she read the agreement in full and understood what it said. No wonder law enforcement doesn't tell her anything. I'm so mad right now. I truly believed that woman in the beginning. I read the book. I highlighted a lot in the book. I referenced the book a lot. I feel bad for her, still do. Now I learned the ugly custody battle she entails upon the public wasn't true at all. She willingly gave up primary custody of Kyron well before her visitation to Canada in August of 2004. She had plans to move to Canada prior to March of 2004. Literally a year after she was granted primary custody of Kyron, she lied about Kane not paying child support. That ceased when she gave up custody per the supplemental agreement. She lied about Kane not following through with the agreement. She read the agreement and signed an affidavit under oath in front of a notary public. If she filed for divorce because Kane was having an affair, then why not file on the grounds of adultery? It's a much better outcome for her that way. She filed due to irreconcilable differences. Why lie about premature labor? The divorce documents say she was due September 15th of 2002 and Kyron was born on September 9th. She wasn't bedridden or sick. Her credibility is gone. It makes you think, what else is a lie? Oh, goodness. The book Boy Missing is one-sided from the mom. Why so much information? Read divorce documents.
In November 2020.
Okay, we're not watching that. Let me go back. Okay. The Groundskeeper. I'm going to turn that off. This talks about the groundskeeper. Okay. Give me just a second. I got to get, my lower back is hurting. I got to put some of my pain salve on it real quick. Oh, if I play the music, I might get in trouble. So I'm going to read you guys the document. Basil is here. I'm going to have to put him up on the bed. Okay. Hold on just a minute. Are you coming up? Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay. No, I don't think so. Oh, really? I'll put Inspector back up. There you go. If Terry really told Biomom that she hated Kyron, then why didn't she fight for her child, especially if Kyron cried because he wanted to be with Biomom? That's a good point. Okay, so it says David Allen Stinson, the groundskeeper for Skyline School, story changed, very suspicious. Please watch full video. I don't see the full video. New and ignored tips. Oh, okay. After law enforcement issued the flyer showing staged photos of Kane's truck on the access road that buses used to get to Skyline, a man came forward. He was the groundskeeper at Skyline and mowed the soccer field that morning. He had to use the access road to reach the soccer field. He said he did not see a white truck that morning. He originally said that he had arrived around 8 a.m., finished mowing at 8:30, and left around 8:45. After speaking with investigators, he changed it to 9. It seems law enforcement had not interviewed him before this, although they'd repeatedly said they'd already interviewed everyone who was at Skyline that morning. The groundskeeper also drove a white truck, although not an extended cab like Kane's, and was on the road around the time a witness said they'd seen a person inside a white truck on the access road. The tip came in more than a month after Kyron's disappearance and makes me, and I'm not the only one, that was a pretty big deal on forums. I wonder if the person had actually seen the groundskeeper inside his white truck that morning. It seems hard to confuse an extended cab truck with a single cab truck, but maybe that's why it took so long for a person to call in the tip. They weren't sure what they saw, but figured it was better to be safe than sorry. I don't know. Like, I can't validate any of this information personally, so I don't know. I'm just reading what this person wrote. Kyron loves soccer. Kyron loves soccer. Could these two known each other since he worked on the soccer field mowing? Could he have trusted him to go? So he said the full video. This is about the groundskeeper, and this is from Convict Now. It's a news story. Hold on. Let me drop their link. So we're going to watch this from Convict Now. It's a news clip about the groundskeeper. I just dropped their link in the description. You guys can like and subscribe to them if you want to do that.
Turning now to the search for Kyron and steps investigators are taking to evaluate the information a groundskeeper shared with K2 about the morning Kyron disappeared.
On your side, investigator Anna Canzano joins us live. And Anna, he met with investigators this morning?
Yes, Steve, with 2 detectives and a lead prosecutor in the case. They all went up to Skyline School early this morning to review the groundskeeper's timeline. Investigators in the Kyron Horman case wanted to know exactly what Dave Stenson saw and didn't see the morning of June 4th when he was mowing the soccer field at Skyline School. He's a Portland Parks and Rec employee who regularly cuts the grass at Skyline on Fridays and says he showed up that morning around 7:45 to begin his job there.
When I found out that Kyron was missing that day, I started to think, of course, like anybody would, well, gee, I was there that morning. What did I see, or was there anything that was out of the ordinary for me?
Stenson's information was potentially relevant because to get to the soccer field and mow the grass, he had to use the same gravel access road investigators are asking about in relation to the Horman truck and where it was between 8:15 and 8:45 that morning. Stenson has now clarified to investigators he believes he left Skyline around 8:45, perhaps as late as 9, and never saw the Horman's truck anywhere nearby. Investigators say that puts him on the gravel road outside of the critical half-hour window they want to know about, since they have witnesses who saw someone in or around the Horman's truck during that time. And investigators are still trying to figure out who was in that truck. They're hoping to hear from anyone who was there that morning, saw the Horman truck parked in front of the school, and could possibly identify who was in it. Investigators feel this could be key in figuring out just what happened to Kyron. Back to you.
Anna Canzano, thank you very much for that tonight. And here's that tip line. If you have information about Kyron's disappearance, 503-261-2847. And again, there is a reward of up to $50,000 to help find Kyron.
Let's talk about where your life is now. Can I bring people up to speed?
We can watch this from 4 years ago. This is KGW News. It says Kane's life now. So this is going to be a raw, complete interview with Kane Horman, Kyron Horman's father. This is from a news station. They staged photos that were approved by everybody, including Terry, was of the white Ford F-250. Terry needed a truck to get where she was going. Yeah. Supposedly because of the science project. Okay. Okay. I'm going to cuddle the bunny. I know. But Basil's laying behind me right now. Okay. So we're going to see what the dad said 4 years ago. So 11 years since Kyron had been missing.
Feed and what your life looks like and the role that Kyron plays in that life.
Yeah, I mean, we're mostly, I guess, normal stuff. I don't really know whatever that looks like right now. That's probably not the best description, but we're, we do work, we do school, we do vacations, we do all of the stuff that I think most people do. We have a lot of work we do in addition to that. We do events, we do, awareness stuff for Kyron. We're doing all the child safety stuff through the foundation. So we've got a lot of extra volunteering that we do, and trying to keep pace with the investigation and all the other stuff going on. So it's still, there's still a prominent piece in there. We've got pictures of him up around the house and stuff still. He's definitely still part of what we do and part of our consciousness on a daily basis. But I'd say we do whatever normal is right now. We're doing that with just a lot of extra stuff. We don't forget, we don't give up.
I wasn't even trying to figure that out until you said that. Is his goatee blue? And then I looked and I was like, well, damn, is it? But it could be a reflection of a light because his teeth look like they have a blue tint too. He is snuggly. That's true. I think it's a reflection because his teeth look blue too.
We talk about him. We still celebrate birthdays and do stuff for him at holidays and all that kind of stuff. So just a little extra, but I think it's a very positive influence on both of us.
Right.
It definitely gives my daughter a really good feeling that we're still actively looking and engaged and talking to people and asking for help. And I think for both of us, it gives us a lot of belief and hope in a good way. So yeah, a lot of normal stuff, but a lot of extra still wrapped around the day-to-day, week-to-week that we've got going on.
Yeah. You mentioned your daughter who was really young when this happened. How have you kind of explained this to her over the years?
Really, I've just taken an approach of trying to explain or answer questions to the best of my ability at the level that she can probably handle it. I don't like to overshare a whole lot on this front. As she gets older, there'll be more details that we need to talk about, and we'll have those conversations. She's aware that he went missing from school. She attends that same school. We've had a lot of conversations about that. We talk a lot about safety and dealing with parents or maybe people, not just people you don't know, but people you do.
Hearing him say that, I mean, when he talked about school in the beginning, I was wondering if he was homeschooling since Kane had gone missing. I really commend him for being able to send his other child to the same exact school. I think that would be a big issue for me because like Suri said, it's always so hard with these cases. You never know, even if you think you know. Maybe they get away with it, like Casey Anthony, and maybe they're getting railroaded. So I would always, even if I thought that my ex-wife was involved in it, I would also always question whether the school was involved, like whether maybe security wasn't as good as it's supposed to be at the school and he did walk out. Like there would always be that thought in the back of my mind and I would have issues sending my other children there.
Do know, and situations that maybe you need to try to avoid or let people know about. So I think just steering her in a direction that makes it so she's not afraid of what's happened, but is educated as much as possible. And then, like I said, I just don't overshare a lot of the details. I've addressed every question that she's brought to my attention with the truth. And it's just sometimes a more, like I say, a limited version of it, but just a version that makes more sense to her based on where she's at with her age and what she can process. But we're coming up on 12 this year, and the questions get a little bit more involved and a little bit more, not necessarily difficult, but they're getting more context, I guess, coming with the answers are coming with the questions nowadays.
Do you ever think we'd be here talking about Kyron still missing 10 years later?
Well, I never thought I'd be having a conversation about him being missing, period. Let alone, having conversations with people towards the beginning and now, no, I mean, absolutely not. I figured when it did happen, after you get over it happened type of feeling and situation, that it was going to be resolved quickly. And yeah, not anything I thought I'd be doing 10 years after the fact.
Yeah. How has the situation changed you, or has it changed you, and your outlook on life and surroundings?
That's a good question.
I think it's changed a lot of who we are and what we do. I know we did some volunteering before, and we were, a little active in the community, and I think we're pretty heavily, at least as much as we can now. It's really opened my eyes with a different purpose, I think, around reaching out and helping others a lot more so than maybe you normally would. Got my consciousness tied in a lot more to when I'm talking to people, really thinking about what's happening on their side of the fence or their side of the table. I know, it's really easy to judge people based on your experience, but not knowing what people have gone through, it really has given me perspective about patience and understanding when maybe something doesn't go your way or you have a bad interaction with somebody, really putting yourself in their shoes. Whereas I think before, maybe not as much. But I think it's changed us for the better, I think. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe, but I think we are the same people who we were to a degree. But it's definitely had an impact. And like I said, I think it's been a good impact on how we've evolved with this. It's definitely taught us a lot about perseverance, a lot about belief, a lot about fear of the unknown and how to deal with that. And we've had a lot of, life happens along the way. So I think one of the main lessons we've picked up as well is that life continues to move, even though you're kind of stuck in this situation that you want to get resolved and it's not resolving itself. So living with everybody else through their experiences as we continue to live ours, I think that's changed us a lot as well.
Hmm. The question that I've asked you and many other people have asked you repeatedly over the years is, what do you think happened to Kyron? And has that answer changed?
No, it's still the same. It's still the same. I think he was taken from school. I don't think he's been in the area. I think he's out of the area somewhere. I think he's with somebody else. And I still will repeat that we don't have enough information to really tell us, whether he's alive or not. And there's really nothing conclusive in either direction. So we continue to believe that he's out there, and we continue to believe that he needs to be found without anything more conclusive coming to the table at this point.
So, as of 4 years ago, I'm going to play that one again, what happened to Kyron. He believes that he was taken from the school. Yeah, he's still sending his other child there, but he says he believes that Kyron was taken from the school.
The question that I've asked you and many other people have asked you repeatedly over the years is, what do you think happened to Kyron? And has that answer changed?
No, it's still the same. It's still the same. I think he was taken from school. I don't think he's been in the area. I think he's out of the area somewhere. I think he's with somebody else. And I still will repeat that we don't have enough information to really tell us, whether he's alive or not. And there's really nothing conclusive in either direction. So we continue to believe that he's out there, and we continue to believe that he needs to be found without anything more conclusive coming to the table at this point.
A lot of those original investigators.
No, I think he's thinking that he was taken from the school and that he's still out there and that he needs to be found. So now I'm wondering, why do they think Lily and Jack are no longer alive? Yeah. Terry's son James said that Kane continued to buy gifts for Kyron after he vanished and updated age toys. Sad. That is sad. You don't. Yeah, I could understand having to hold on to hope until I knew otherwise as well, because that's a hard place to be. Right, Bertie?
Detectives, even prosecutors have now retired or gone on to move to do different things. Do you fear at all that this case will be on a back shelf somewhere or be forgotten about as new people come in and maybe aren't aware of it?
No, honestly, I don't. We've already had several transitions in the case. It does kind of slow things down a little bit to get people ramped up and back on kind of the directions that we had before. But I think that the new sets of eyes are fantastic. I think that law enforcement generally, there's a lot of organizations involved, so I'm just going to throw a blanket statement that law enforcement agencies, they haven't given up. I think they've had a lot of opportunity to scale back, step back, maybe do less. And as far as I know, that hasn't happened. So we're very thankful that they're still on it the way that they are, that they do, what they do. And the transitions have been good. But yeah, I think it does take some time to get back up to speed, but I definitely think that, like I said, the fresh perspective, fresh set of eyes coming in oftentimes yields more tips or leads or directions that maybe haven't been explored, which I think is helpful at this point. We need as many different directions as we can to continue to, go through this case. And it's exactly what they're doing. So yeah, maybe in a way, I think there's, some of that knowledge you lose as it gets, exchanged person to person. I'm sure, I don't know if you've been out there, but they've got they used to have a room with a wall of bookcases full of information just on his case. There's no way someone new coming in is going to know all that information, in all those notebooks. So yeah, you might lose a little bit there, but I think what's gained in fresh perspective is an advantage for the case as well. So yeah, maybe a little bit of a disadvantage, but advantages in other ways.
Yeah. Recently, I had a chance to kind of go back and look through all my files and look at some video from those first few weeks when there was kind of a frenzy of activity, a lot of searches, and just a lot of people participating in this effort. From your perspective, I mean, is there anything that you would look back and you would change, or you think maybe I should have done something different or asked for something different to be done in those early stages?
Honestly, I don't know. It's very easy to be critical. I can remember in the moment that I was just thankful that we had the volume of resources that we had. And I think if you were to look back, that could have been a good thing for us. It could have been a bad thing for us. Like I said, I think there are probably advantages and disadvantages.
I want to show y'all something real quick that I found when I was looking this case up, when he's talking about all of the efforts that went into this case. It was from Wikipedia. It said that it said that it was the largest search effort in Portland, Oregon history. Like, the most resources ever went to this case and searching for him. It's the largest and most well-funded search in Portland, Oregon history has been the search for Kyron, which I found really interesting because, unfortunately children go missing all the time, and his was the most well-funded and biggest search effort ever in the whole history. Right now, at this point, I don't think he does think Terry is involved. Canes, Nana. Yeah, they found nothing. Oh, thank you, Glitter.
But given at that particular time, you could have 10 people show up and investigate, or you could have 200. I'm sure everyone would say they'd feel better if they had 200 there investigating and pursuing as hard as they were. So I can't really say that I would do it differently. There might be the difference between what might have been more effective versus what might have helped us feel better. So, could it have been too many people too fast and maybe overrunning some stuff? Yeah, you could make that judgment based on what we know now, maybe. But at the same time, like I said, I feel good today, and I felt good then at the response that we had from so many organizations and so many people. I don't really know how you say that, well, we didn't want that. So I think it's really hard to identify what could have been done differently, because something else would not have been done that probably was and probably felt necessary at the time. So I don't know, it's probably a little bit of an evasive answer to your question, but I don't know that I have any criticisms that I would say I wish this would have been done differently. The only thing I would say is that I wish he was found.
There are a lot of people that feel a deep connection to this case. There are also some new people to our community who maybe have not even heard about this. What would your message be to the community, both of those people who feel a deep connection and want to find Kyron, and those people who aren't aware of this situation?
Yeah, well, we have flyers posted that are shareable, obviously, on social media, and I would continue to encourage everyone to share it when they can, and not necessarily to share it just around the significant dates that come up, like June 4th is the day he went missing, for example. And I think it's awesome that everybody shares flyers on June 4th. I think when it's helpful is when we're in months where people are out and about quite a bit. I think it's important to share throughout those months so that people are reminded and have his likeness kind of in the forefront of their minds when they're out camping or traveling to other places. I think it's helpful to have just kind of that steady flow of his likeness getting out there. It's just a subtle reminder and to get that in front of people. The other thing I like to remind people of too is he's going to be 18 this year. So that cute little picture of him with the glasses at 7 years old, as much as it's my sentimental favorite, that's not what he looks like anymore. So, we occasionally get tips for, people saying that, we saw this little boy who looks like this. And I'm like, yep. And my heart's right there with you. But he's not a little boy anymore. He's a young man. He's probably, somewhere around 6 feet tall-ish, and he's got a different face, and he may not be wearing glasses. And, so a lot of those traits that I think a lot of people find endearing about that original photo, and probably what brought a lot of people to connect with this case, are still there. I would keep those at heart, but just remember that he looks different. and to be thinking about that, when people are out looking. But yeah, sharing via social media is still a very relevant activity. Flyers you can download and print and post if you go places. So if you go on vacation, posting flyers here and there, that's helpful. There's still a lot of things like that that are very relevant to what we need to do today.
So, yeah, before we go for the day, I am going to pull up the age progressed photos of Kyron. I'm probably going to, it's not real early, but hold on. Hold on just a minute. I'm probably am going to go for the day because I do have a headache. Okay. They have this one. I guess that's the teenager type. What he would look like as a teenager. Let me try age progressed photos real quick. So I guess that's the one they have. There's another one, endangered and missing. That's an age progressed photo. Kyron Richard Horman. It gives us the tip line. That would have been when he was 10 years old. Let's see. Gave me an error. Access denied. Try this one. Well, that didn't do much. That's the age progressed photo of him. And there's no way I can read that, but I suppose that's what he would look like right now. On that website, there's some up to age 19. Okay, let's try to pull that up real quick. Hold on. I saw him too. I should have known that. Let me pull it up. Hold on just a minute. I want to do Emily Pike. I was looking at that one. All right, how did I find it? There it is. Okay. So it says Kyron was wearing a black CSI t-shirt, black cargo pants, white socks, and well-worn black Skechers tennis shoes with orange trim. There's a $50,000 reward. Those are all the age progressed photos of him. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones on that website. Yeah, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. I appreciate y'all being part of our speculating family. I love y'all so very much. If nobody has told you, you are important, you are enough, you are special, and you are loved. And I will definitely see y'all tomorrow. I hope y'all have a good day. It is definitely a Monday for me. Stay warm, stay cool, whatever you need to do. Thank you guys. Aw, I do too. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Good night. I hope y'all have a good night. Happy birthday, Abraham. Enjoy your birthday, my love. Oh, okay, I will. I'll check it after the live. I will do that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm going to try to rest for a minute because I got a horrible headache. I don't know what's going on. But I will, my back's not hurting because I use my pain salve. Anyway, I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Thank you so much. And I love y'all. Bye.